Bless FM radio, playing good tune.
Showers of blessings falling on I. Jah is thy portion. Jah will supply all I need. So tell them stay far with them selfish strategy. Lightning and brimstone upon breeze. Waging war, blood sacrifices they will pay unto their money god. Young lives will be destroyed, and all those for sale are going to weep and wail. Economics will determine their worth, while the meek shall inherit the earth, and there'll be showers of blessings falling on I. Jah is thy portion. Jah will supply all I need. So tell them stay far with them selfish strategy. Lightning and brimstone upon green. Freedom turn from all disease and broken minds. The nation must grow. All the food and the herb and the healing they've known all along. They must be reminded with this song that united we are strong. By the grace of the Almighty One, there will be showers of blessings falling on I. Jah is thy portion. Jah will supply all I need. So tell them stay far with them selfish strategy. Lightning and brimstone upon green. Oh, poisoning our bodies, poisoning our minds, keeping us distracted, wasting our time. Unless with active consciousness we overcome the programming and step outside the lines of control. In this battle for our soul, the only chance for freedom is to take it. Life is what you make it. You can be complacent and remain, but there's everything to gain for those who are called by Jah name. Yes,
Greetings everyone, greetings. Sorry for the late starting. I'm here now. Thank you for tuning in to blessradio.org, and I'm your host, Lady Pearlz. The number to call if you want to interact is 07944 31366. I'll say that again, 07944 31366. And the show is the Pearlz of Wisdom show, and we're talking about death today. Actually, this is a final segment to the topic, because we've spoken on two different subjects in the past 2 weeks: sudden death, short-term illness, and today will be the long-term illness. So that's it for today, and I'm actually quite glad. Long-term illness meaning it could be 6 months to a year that the person's been sick. So yes. Right, so excuse me guys, I'm just still setting up. The rain had
blessings falling on I. Jah is thy portion. Jah will supply all I need. So tell them stay far with them selfish strategy. Lightning and brimstone upon breeze. Waging war, blood sacrifices they will pay unto their money god. Young lives will be destroyed, and all those for sale are going to weep and wail. Economics will determine their worth, while the meek shall inherit the earth, and there'll be showers of blessings falling on I. Jah is thy portion. Jah will supply all I
So are you coming in after?
so tell them stay far with them selfish strategy. Lightning and brimstone upon breeze. Freedom time from all disease.
Right, good evening, guys. Greetings once again. Apologies once again. Yeah, I'm a bit frass here because the subject we're talking about is death, and because I've also suffered a loss. I lost my brother 3 weeks ago. Things are a bit hectic right now, so you have to excuse my frassness, but I will calm down in a moment and get with it. So, as I was saying, our topic today is about long-term illness and the effects that it has on loved ones, caregiver, etc. I've got my guest here, Brother Bless,
All
who's
right.
been with me for the past 2 weeks.
Yes, greetings, family.
Yes.
It's been a rough ride, and it's been a rough ride.
Mhm.
Yeah. We covered the subject, talking about we'd say death or departed ones, or ones who have transcended.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've been talking about people who's going through the experience, and we need to think about these people. So the topic is about death, but life is everlasting.
Mhm.
So we've decided to put this show together to give some strength to those who are going through it. You know, those, they say, he who feels it knows it. So we've done this little show, which has been quite intense. You know what I mean? You can get the rest of the show on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you put in Bless Radio 1, you can actually get the other shows, what we've done. And maybe there might be some information in there that can give you some strength.
Mhm.
So this show is, so much of our loved ones are getting shut down and sudden things are going on. So we have to talk about this thing.
That's
As
right.
much as you don't want to talk about it, it's around you. You're living in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if it comes to your doorstep, you're going to want to talk about it. You're going to want to be hearing this. So because you don't want to hear it now, you're going to have to hear it one day. So make we try and use this platform to strengthen one another. Feel free to send any texts or any WhatsApp so that we can share that information with somebody, because even that may help somebody.
That's right.
One person can save a nation, you know.
That's right.
Okay.
Right,
nothing
let's
far.
go.
Get
Before
ready to
we
rumble.
start, I would like to send out condolences to President Sass's family. You know, another soldier lost. Rest in eternal peace, Sass. Because from I've known him, he's always been a respectful brother to me, and it was a shock. It was really a shock to hear that, you know, that he'd passed. And like I said, condolences to his family. Also, I want to send out condolences to Paulette Campbell, who lost her son this week on as well. Condolences to you, Paulette, and your family. You know, my thoughts are with you, and also with President Sass's family. So many losses. It's been a hard week. It has been a hard week, and as much as I'm doing this show and talking about it, it's been quite an emotional journey for these past 2 weeks for myself as well. This will be the third week, you know, and So I know what I'm talking about firsthand as well. So I can, like I said, this is the reason why I can share this information as well. So, you know, just know that I'm feeling it at the moment also. So,
Okay, right. So where did we reach?
locks. Let's recap, shall we? So we did sudden death.
Sudden death. Sudden death is for those who we was talking about. Little recap. Sudden death was
Yes.
about those who just found out at the spirit of the moment, bam, he or she's no longer there.
Yeah.
And how can we deal with this and what people go through. So that's what we mean by the sudden death, when you just suddenly send them somewhere, or they don't come back, or something just sudden, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody goes downstairs, go up to bed and don't wake up. Sudden thing. And what was the other one?
The other one was short-term illness. So like I was saying last week, my work colleague, her brother found out he was diagnosed with cancer, and he had 6 months to live. And it was a thing where he didn't want his mother to be told that he was dying. And he didn't even want his sister to be told. He told the wife, don't tell my sister, don't tell my mother. But the wife told the sister, and on the was it pretext, we say, that she does not tell the mother. So she had to carry that burden of seeing her mother, you know, and not being able to tell the mother that your son is going to be dead within 6 months' time. You know, she just had to just go along with it because that was the brother's dying wish. You know, so that was hard.
Okay, we could put a question to the listeners. This show is not going to be an ordinary show. Yeah?
That's right, yeah.
If you was in the position of the sister, what would you do? If you was put in her position, if somebody was passing away and didn't want you to tell their mum, and they put their trust in you not to tell the mum or the sister or whoever, and you've got to see that person every day and look in their face and can't tell them, what would you do? Or would you tell them, or would you not tell them? Why? What a position. She's going to live with that anyway.
Yeah, but you know what she said? She said that the reason why she could come to terms with not telling the mum is because it was her brother's dying wish. So she felt it was not her right to go against his wish. And also she also felt it was the best thing to do for the mother, because she didn't want the mother to grieve now for the son. She just wanted the mother to just enjoy her time with the son.
Alright, then I tell you something. You wasn't supposed to answer the question, you know. You see, people.
No, but you asked the
one of
listeners.
them, sure, you know. I said to the listeners, what would you do? And you know what she do?
No, but that's the listeners. You asking the listeners that question, but they may have a different answer. This is what my work colleague said.
Oh,
yeah, that's what my work
colleague
colleague said, not what the listeners have said.
I can work with that one.
That's right.
So she said.
That's right.
All right, go on. See, people, we have these conversations. You have to laugh because, you know what I mean, life is a joyful thing. It's just some miserable people in there. Oh yeah, and plus we forgot you to. We was talking about the teeth in the nine night.
Oh God, the teeth in the 9 night, and the teeth after the 9 night.
And the ones after the 9 night.
Yes.
You know. So if you don't know about that, that was a good show. The teeth the teeth in the 9 night is like when the time come at the 9 night, you get some auntie or uncle or somebody from nowhere, and somewhere somehow them take out something. Things go missing, clothes go missing, and so forth. Even the house go missing sometimes. You know what I mean?
I've got to send out another condolences if you don't mind.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
we could send out another condolences. This is to Ringo's family in Jamaica, whose cousin Mike got shot over there. So condolences to Ringo's family as well.
Oh, tight Ringo.
Yeah. Sorry about that. This is what I'm saying. So many deaths this week. So many deaths.
I try to put it in a term of not convincing a one that is deaf. I try to convince or show my people that the vehicle has broken down, the tires are worn out. Sometimes the vehicles can just go blamming at the wall and boom, but the driver of the vehicle is still survived.
You mean
which is the spirit.
Yeah, the spirit.
Yeah, the vehicle is not there, but the driver is still there. Okay? Simple.
All right, okay. So we're going back to the
All right.
teeth and the 9 night.
Oh, the teeth
and the
and the
teeth them
9
after the 9 night.
Yeah, have you buck up on some of them?
Oh God, we know some.
Yeah,
we know
man.
them very well.
Right. Like some of the teeth and the 9 night is the ones in that you trust to take care of all the finance, and next thing you know, they finance themselves in a Jamaica or somewhere, by either just disappear, not even thinking about the inheritance. Because even inheritance, when people leave things behind and it's supposed to share, sometimes money can be the root of all evil.
The love of it.
The love of money, that's the one.
The
So
love of it.
there's so much things involved when somebody moves on. A lot of things involved, but when you can find someone you can trust, you know, because it's unity. Once you got that unity, and you learn so well, the bond of all the people that's involved will make it tight, and it will make it an easy ride. As long as you're all in agreement with one another from the beginning, and you don't change it, you write down what you're doing, and you all know what you're doing, you've set that thing, you're all in agreement, everybody's got a copy of it, and you just go forward and let the current take you through, and just do it that way and stick together.
Communication
Don't
is key.
change your mind. Don't turn around and say, look, we don't want to do this no more, we don't want to do that no more. No, you all work together. And one number important thing in the whole thing is that always answer their phone calls. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're tired. Yeah, if you see a missed call from anybody in your love circle, the family circle that has to deal with this grief, or call it your grief circle, or make sure that you all keep in contact, you all phone one, no matter what the bickering. It's not about you, it's about the person that's moved on. Forget about you, anybody else. It's about the one that's moved on.
Yeah.
So always keep in communication with each other. Answer each other's phone. Don't shout at one another. Don't override one another. Just keep it balanced. Yeah. Even wait for your turns, like you're in a classroom, and hold your hand up. Why? Because it's not for you, it's for the one that's moved on. And you see, when you get through that part there, you're tight. You say to yourself, I didn't realize we could do this. We, as one, you know what I mean? We, you know, not I. Because it's not you alone, it's the unity, it's all the spirit to come in one force to complete this final task. You know? So, it's good. It's good. When I say it's good, I mean not the thing, but you know,
Yes,
the oneness.
the oneness, yeah.
The oneness.
What you find, like we were saying with the teeth in the 9 night and the teeth after the 9 night, is that even before they come along, sometimes family units are not united. You know, some of them are not. So when a loved one is dying, you find that one person is left to be the caregiver. You know, while the others, they're standing arm's length, but they're giving you all this advice, but they're not helping you. They're not going to the hospital with you. They're not going to the doctor's appointment with you. They're not having to give the injections and the medication, and you know, staying up late at night or anything like that.
So what you're saying, those ones who wasn't involved in the process, but it doesn't matter. This is the funny thing about it. I hear what you're saying, but there's some people that don't come and don't support the thing, but when the time comes now, they want to come in. Let them in, because it's not about them. That's what everybody's keeping forgetting. It's not about you. It's about the one that's moved on. And until you keep this in your head and realize, why are you all together in the first place around this place? Because of that person. In the beginning, that's why you're there. So in the end, that's why you're there. Stay there because of that person. Forget your problem, whatever you have with one of your family, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle. You know what I mean? No matter what they've done, as long as they're in that house or around that sick bed, and you know, because you make them come, they're in the circle. You know, it's not about trust and think who's going to rip off who, because there's not going to be one person managing it. You all manage it together, all of you.
Yeah, but I was still, in a way, we know that we're there for that person. But the reality of it is, we can say who has the heart to say we're there for that person.
But somebody might like.
You understand? Yeah, because we have to face the reality of it, because that is the reality of it, that these things are happening. As much as we would love to have the unity, you know, because we're there for that person, as we said, and that's the reason why we coined that phrase, you know what? Teeth in the nine, that the car, they will come there under the pretext that yes, they're you know, they're there to be unified and, you know, in this thing, but then
they're my wolf.
Yeah, they're wolves. So we have to face the reality of it, because many of us have suffered this. I myself have been
a victim of the
I
knew it, you know. You know what I was gonna say. I said, family, listen. I'm sitting down here and I said, I feel like I'm in a courthouse here, and we're fighting a case over the teeth and the nine, and she's against him and want to hang him, and I'm trying to say, well, it's all about the heart, brethren. I know the teeth of the nine. I know what you said. Make me switch the switch then. Since you want to burn the teeth of the nine, like,
me not want burn him. Me not burn him. Yeah. Me not burn him.
Oh, you hear that laugh though? Me not burn him.
Me no. What I'm just saying is I've experienced it. You understand what I'm saying? We all have. But so this is what I'm saying. We still got to be realistic that the thing that they are there. They will gather around the bed, me see yai water squeeze out, yai suck it. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen it.
Alright then, what about then? We got the teeth in the nine, yeah? So what about if you, because no matter what happened, they're going to be there. Yeah, they're going to be at the church, they're going to be everywhere, right? So that means that because everybody in the circle analyze that this is the teeth in the nine, then what could do? Bring him in same way, but give him less responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you all know about the teeth and the nine anyway before you bring because everybody in our family go.
Yeah, you
we have
know.
a little few. I don't want to do it with him. Listen. Just bring him in.
That's
if
right,
that's the way
know.
it is, then we'll let him do something less that he won't be involved in that
delegate
side of
him
it.
to something.
Yeah, make him go into the bar or something.
Yeah, that you know,
or something. You know,
that's
something,
right.
Take care of the drinks.
Yeah, so that you know, there's no animosity and there's no you know. Talkings and whatever the case may be. Yeah, so you can.
Yeah, you're giving an assignment that he can't teeth nothing.
Yeah.
But he's playing a good part.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? But you can't teeth nothing.
That's right. And it's not in the pot.
Right.
Right.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean?
So now we the teeth of the nine night kind of like he don't get away with it, but he's on pause. He's he's on pause. Keep them in check. But still, it's about the loved one.
Yeah, that's right, it is.
What's the topic? We could play a tune because we went and then we come back with something.
Right, the next tune will be I got play.
What we're going to play?
This is Janine, and it's called Humble Me More. Right, the reason why I'm playing this tune here is because it's talking about being humble. Yeah, and when you come into certain information and knowledge and light about what's going on around you, yeah, it makes you humble. It humbles you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because this show is called the Pearlz of Wisdom show, when you learn certain things, when you gather certain information and learn these pearls, it makes you humble.
Right, and another reason why we're playing this tune is because when you go through this thing, you're going to go through some stages, and the first stage is guilt. I could have done this, I should have done that. If I did the phone him that day there, why didn't I? If I did this, that would... No. No. Stop. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't do that.
Yeah.
What happens is God's will. Yeah. Although sometimes it is what it is, people go against God's will, but what I'm saying is just... Alright. It went. I had it, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I tried to exaggerate. I tried to elaborate on it. Alright. So anyway, that's it. That's the one. The mood swings. Sometimes you get angry. Yeah. And you don't want no one around you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Sometimes, because there is stages, and you do get angry. You're fiery. Yeah. That's the part where these kind of tunes come in. And then you start having family team with other people. Then boy, all you got to do is just don't be angry with them.
Yeah.
Ask the Most High to humble you.
Yeah.
Humble you more and more, because the journey ain't easy. It's tough.
You go through a plethora of
It's
emotions.
tough, but you need to be humble for real.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean?
Because the thing about it is, you know, sometimes we think that, you know, being angry and flaring up and all the rest of it it makes us strong. It doesn't. That's actually making us weak. That weakens us, because the heightened state that you have to be in to be angry, all of that energy that you use to be angry, that weakens you. But you see, when you humble yourself, you know, just relax yourself, just humble yourself. That's where your strength comes in. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can think more clearer, you can make, you know, clearer, proper decisions, solid decisions, you know. So, like I said, you go through a plethora of emotions.
Mood swings, emotions, up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even your best friend can become your enemy.
Lux, listen to me.
So you really need to be humble and not say it's just the motion of the ocean. One other way I show you of a shortcut is that sometimes when people come up to you and they say, oh, so and so and so and so, you don't really want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it, no,
but
not at all.
You can switch it around and say, well, when the emotions come out, it's the person in you setting that emotion. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Right? So then you realize, you just start to learn and control it. Can't say, well, that's the love what that person had for that person, and they cry because they're with you. Yeah. Yeah. So it's their love that's crying out. I told you it's a deep show today, you know. It's their love that's crying out, and then you cry out after them. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes it's I've seen it myself. It's hard to explain what I'm saying, but sometimes when people don't, when they don't talk too much about the loved one, I'm all right. But when they hit certain notes, you feel it.
It's just like I was saying to you last week when I lost my son. And my other children that were remaining, they wanted to speak about their brother. Yeah. And I didn't want to speak about him, but because my children wanted to speak about him, I had to allow them to speak about him. And every single word that they spoke about their brother was like a knife stab to my heart. And I had to just endure it for my children's sake, because they had to speak about their brother. They wanted to remember him. They wanted to, you know, remember all the good times and all the things that they'd done with him. And I'm like, oh, in my head, I'm like, please, no, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about it. But I had to allow them to talk about it.
You have to.
I had to leave them to get on with it. And like I said, I endured every knife stab of every single word that they spoke. And then when they went to their bed, I went to my bed and I bawled.
Do you think about talking about that particular person a lot will help?
Yes.
Right.
It does help.
Right. So we're going to. Do you want to go there?
If you want, go there, go on.
All right. People, keeping it real today. Yeah. Right. Remember the tune, yeah. Humble you more and more. Right. Right.
We'll come back to that.
So 079 444 31366. Right now you can send in a texts only. Yeah, because we're gonna roll deep. You know why? Because many people's going through what my sister's going through. Yeah. And if she requires me to talk about the thing to make her stronger, I will do that. Because I expect all of us to do this. It's just it's our time, you know, on this earth. It's our time. We could just get together now and start fix up one another. If one of our soldiers is wounded, give them the aid that they need. It might be painful, but you know what? Once it's done, it's done. You know what I mean? And if it will make them feel better that they can talk and talk about the good things of that person, and anything, whatever comes out, it needs to you let it out, right?
That's right.
Right, my sister.
Right, I've got a request to hear the tune again.
Okay, all right, we could play the tune first then, yeah, because it's going to be deep. That will give you time to text some people and let them know we're rolling deep. Right, number is 079 444 31366 for texts only. 079 444 31366. Then you got to go to tune in or bless www and another one blessradio.org. Yeah, right. So who you can dedicate it to? Who are you dedicating it to?
Right, this is dedicated to all those who have lost loved ones and need to be humble.
And need to be humble.
Yes.
so that you can come together.
So you can come together
in peace.
In peace.
Yes.
And then, you know, you come to the best conclusion
Yeah.
for the loved one that's passing, that's passed, and even for yourself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So remember your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're all in, and if you're not in, you sit on the side and let the circle remain all in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you understand what I'm saying, the old tight stepper.
Just a grow and the bliss just a show and a humble me more and more. The more that I learn, show the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth set me free and encourages me as it humble me more and more. Humble me more and more. There is so much to fear, they say, so many unknowns. There are those who would scorch the face of the earth in a selfish game of thrones. Some have learnt of the mysteries and are forcing the world to comply. But give thanks, the source of the sacred is encoded in I and I. When I tune into the frequency, none of the stains of adversity distract from the reach.
Hold tight, so let's terrace dragon all time.
Of the power I'm connected to, yes, it just a humble me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show and a humble me more and more. The more that I learn, through the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth.
Yeah, hold tight, sister Elaine. Hold tight, Empress. Hold tight, sister Rose.
To Raggedy and DJ Snipes. DJ Ringo, bless up.
When I tune into the frequency, none of the stains of adversity distract from the real I know. Of the power I'm connected to, yes, it just a humble me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show and a humble me more and more. The more that I learn, show the little that I know, and it humble me more and more.
Yes, Raggedy, I know you love this tune. Let's go down to Argos and tell them that we sent you.
Humble me more and more. I used to be so sure of things, then life began to change. The world becomes a smaller place, an overcrowded stage. Ambition is the over.
Also want to big up my sister Pamela who's listening in. Love you, sis.
So I take away to take a breath and fit how I behave as I let go of the expectations. I start to feel everything go dark. A newfound sense find its activation, blazing wildfire from my heart. One night ignited, fight its way, and everything following is even greater. All I thought I knew melts away when play becomes creator. It just a humble me more and more. The heights just a grow and the bliss just a show and a humble me more and more. The more that I learn, through the little that I know, and it humble me more and more. The truth set me free and encourages me as it humble me more and more. Humble me more and more. More and more.
Yeah, hold tight, silent one. Hold tight, other WhatsApp family. Yes, people, you can get us on the WhatsApp, yeah? You can send in the text and thing.
As I let go of the expectations, I start to feel everything
Right, and so we're back on the other side. You're tuned into blessradio.org. And the topic that we are talking about today is long-term illness and how it affects the family. So, shall we continue? Well, so what we've been talking about so far is the different emotions that we will go through when a loved one is passing away. One of the things that is a big thing that we don't do easily, and that's accept that we're going to lose the person. Acceptance is one of the biggest things. Once we've accepted the truth of the matter, it makes things a little bit easier. Not a lot easier, but a little bit easier. For me, and I have to put myself in it, because like I said, I've just, lost my brother 3 weeks ago, and I lost my son a few years ago as well. And, it was hard. It was really, really hard to accept that I will no longer have these people in my life. It was hard at first. But I found that me holding on to them wasn't making things easier for myself. And it wasn't going to make things easier for people around me. Because in my denial, I would have become very angry, very frustrated. I would have been a hell to live with, basically. And I knew I would have been hell to live with.
All right. Yeah, angry.
Yeah, but
right.
then that's where like I said, when you accept,
that's the part what makes the family fall apart. That angry part. That's the thing that everybody's got to watch out for.
Yeah.
This is what you all got to come together and know. So that part will come.
Yeah.
Right. It's up to all of us to keep everybody in line, because that part will come, and somebody will want to take something and say, "I don't care. That's what I want to do."
Yeah.
No. That is part of, like I say, I drop it another way. Supposing like spirit, it's a spirit that's taking advantage of your condition. Yeah. So
right,
that means when one wants to do something against the flow, no man, I'm doing this without coming back to the circle. So brethren, your emotions has allowed this spirit to come into you. I know we have emotions, but we are we're tight. So we need to know, that can't work. Keep that out of the circle. Yeah. Because that's not what we're here for. You understand? When you calm down again and you want to come back in, just come back in. Yeah. Don't throw them out, because everybody's going to be emotional. So I look at it as a negative spirit.
No, you can't isolate anyone.
You can't.
No.
That's what will break up the whole circle.
Isolation will do that. You can't, because all right, then we all deal with things differently. We all do. We all deal with our emotions, our feelings differently. And I think communication is key. Keep continuing talking to each other. Keep asking, how do you feel? What do you think about this? Once you do that all the time,
all the time, keep phoning each other, making sure everybody's all right.
Yeah, it's a constant thing, you know. What I mean? But I still, like I said, for me, it's because I am experiencing it now. Yeah. Shout out to my brother DJ Snipes, who's locked in right now. The reason why I keep having to go back is because I've experienced it, and I have to address it. It's a must that I address it.
Because you've realised that enough people are going through this.
Enough people are going through it.
When they do, it can be dangerous.
Yeah.
If we don't talk about this thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes, it can tear the family apart, or it could bring the family together.
Yeah. And like I said, it's this thing where you may not have been tight as a unit, as brothers and sisters, or before. You understand what I'm saying?
And that is the thing what can make it tight.
Yeah, and if you are willing, again, I want to talk about it in length, but I can't, because, again, I don't want to say the whole thing. But, I'll give you just a little brief thing. My dad's passing away. And we have a particular person who is trying to be that thief in the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we know where it's coming from.
Right? You have that thing, right? I've had a choice whether to blow up, galang bad, cuss, carry on stink, or humble myself and say, nah, this is how it's gonna go, and etc. and etc. I chose the humble myself part because in my humbleness, the strength came. Like I said, I was able to deal with that particular person calmly and rashly. You understand? And because I was calm and I was rash, that person couldn't get to do what they wanted to do. If I was angry and vexed and cussing and carrying on, they would have felt justified in their actions.
They needed a reason. They needed you to give them a reason.
Right. So there was no reason given because I was calm and I was humble. So they had to humble themselves in a sense. You understand what I'm saying? And because certain other family members, we never rose up to the person's behavior, they had to humble themselves. It's very deep. It's much deeper than what I'm saying. But like I said,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So we had to stay humble. I'm not saying that we didn't have raised voices and we didn't have dispute, but we stayed humble. We could have got along bad. I could have got along bad. I could have gone to some lengths. I could have gone there. But in this situation, you have to be wise. You understand? You have to pick your battles.
So what you're saying is basically unity is strength.
Yeah. Unity, because you still have to think about the long term, because you got to think, all right, that person's also hurting. You understand? And out of their hurt, they're acting in this particular kind of way. You know, so you got to think, all right, then, you know, this is how they're behaving. They're off balance at the moment. So you got to think about that as well as their behavior, but you still got to stay humble. You've got to stay calm. It's almost like you've got to come out of yourself and be in another mind, you know, and deal with the person. It's almost like having an outer body experience then. I put it that way because that's the easiest way for me to explain. It's almost like you have to have an outer body experience to deal with this person, you know, so that you can deal with them calmly and rashly. Because once you deal with them calmly and rashly, you will get the end result that you're looking for, and that is the unity. You know, and then at the end of the day, there was unity. At my father's funeral, there was as much unity as there could be had. Even though I wasn't there, I heard the reports of it, which I was very happy for. There was that enough unity there for everything to go according to the plan of which, you know, was set out. So, you know, we are not all, we're not always unified and we're not all together, but somebody has to bring about that balance by being humble, by being calm, you know.
What at the end of that particular journey of the balance what you've experienced, what have you gained from being unified, being on point, being on your target, being on your path, keeping everybody together, keeping the teeth of the nine out. But even if you bring them in, they're still not in, but they can't do nothing because you're all humble, there's no argument. Everybody's cool. No, it's okay. Everything's cool, and everybody's in agreement. So, what did you learn from that? What positive thing did you learn from that you can tell? Well, you know, this is what I gained from it. This is what we all gained from it.
You know what I learned? I learned that I can put myself in someone else's shoes. As much as I'm hurting and I'm going through and I'm, because we always get into that. Sometimes we get into that self-centeredness of me. It's all about me. I'm feeling like this and I want this and I want that. It made me learn how to put myself into someone else's shoes and see it from the other person's perspective. You understand what I'm saying? And see, all right, then they're hurting like this, and because they're hurting like that, that's the reason why they're acting out like that, and etc. and get to understand why. And once I understood the why, then I was able to deal with the person appropriately within their, you get what I'm saying, and put myself out the equation, put my hurt and everything aside, not neglecting it or anything like that, but I could put it aside for a little while and say, you know what, let me deal with this person. Let me deal with their hurt. Let me deal with their, you know, let me show them that I've acknowledged that you're hurt. Let me show them that I acknowledge, you know, what you're going through as well. Let me. Yeah,
that's you're talking about the circle, right?
But even though still, like I said, it's deep. It's still deeper than that. But still, I acknowledge, because there's things even going on after that. But I'm just saying, I had to, as much as things was going, like I said, was going on, and the person was going on bad, I still humbled myself and said, let me put myself in that person's shoes. Let me understand why they're going on the way they're going on. Let me understand it. And I understood it. And I've understood it, and etc. and etc. I may not have no dealings with the person, but I understand why you behaved the way you behaved.
Once you understand it, you know how to get around it.
Yeah.
Enough of us don't do that.
No,
we don't understand why that person's upset. So we need to know that. But it's a good thing. Right, are you ready for the journey? Or should we leave it?
Go. Yeah, go. Do your thing.
All right. Right, people. We're going to talk. Me and my sister are going to talk. As I say, because quite a lot of you going through it. And if you ain't gone through it yet, you're going to go through it someday. Right? May your journey be sweet and like humble and loving the unity. May you learn from this conversation, because when your time come, you need to keep that unity. You know, you need to, because them things, they can break up your family to pieces.
Yeah, it can.
You may have one person in there who wants everything, and the next person feels that they're entitled to everything, and all these mismatch. It's hard, but you know what I mean, humbleness, and to bring that person down and say, okay, bring them down. I can't tell you exactly what to do because I don't know what the situation is, but it's tricky, very tricky. But humbleness, prayers, asking the Almighty to give you strength, because this is another thing. Sometimes you think you're strong enough to deal with this. Yeah, boom, flashback. So sometimes we might need a higher strength, or our Christ consciousness, or a higher consciousness, or God, or the Almighty, because we got more strength than we think.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but because you're thinking about the flesh, you're limiting yourself. But we live in we have spirit. Yeah. So, and we are connected to the Almighty. As above, so below. We're connected to every living thing on this planet that the Almighty created. So that means that we got more strength than we believe we have.
Yes, true.
You just need to ask for it. You know what I mean? You might not see it coming the way you may come. It may come through a friend. It may come through a phone call. You see what I'm saying? Somebody may knock your door at that right time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you might say, "Chum, I don't want them to comfort me," but you forgot what you asked God to do for you. You might not like the person that's gonna come and help you or come and reason with you, but you must always remember what you cry out for, because it may come in the form that somebody you don't expect, or it might even come in somebody that I'm so glad I see you. You don't know how it's gonna come. You know what I mean? So don't you now be like the thief in the night, having that anger because you don't want that one to come or that one to come. You know who your friends are. You know who the friends that care about you. That's it. Those are the ones that you're bringing.
Yeah, exactly. That's
right.
It. That's right. Exactly. You know? Yeah.
That's it.
Because you don't really need need to bring in.
No, you don't bring in outsiders. When I say outsiders, I mean like, how can I put it? I don't mean like, how can I put it, outsiders?
Because you got your family.
You got your unity.
So you got your family. Your let's say you got your partner.
You got your family,
children,
your uncle, your aunties, your cousins,
those, and whatever the case may be.
Girlfriends, everybody that's in your family. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you have to have the partner in there, because if it's a girl that's lost a loved one, she can't do this without her partner.
That's right, exactly.
So you have to include the partner as well. Even though you might not say, "I don't like that girl, I never did like her." Listen, she has to support him when he's going through this thing. Whether you like her or not, he's going to go. But she's going to know everything anyway, because he's going to talk to her to comfort her, for comfort. So you might as well just make her support him and drop the rubbish. That's right. And it's all about the one. Because
then you do get that. They don't want the partner involved.
Yeah, I don't want his girlfriend here. I don't want her boyfriend here.
What kind of madness is that?
If he didn't care, he wouldn't be there in the first place.
That's right.
Or she, I should say, or he. Right, I could deal with this thing because I'm trying to get this thing out, you know. Because you're asking for it. Yeah, and if you're asking for it, your spirit knows why you need it. Why you need to do this. Right. So we was talking about your brother.
Yeah.
You don't have to call his name unless you want to. That's up to
Colin.
you. All right. So you're saying about the situation where burial and all that. Are you gonna get to do this thing?
But when I say what I'm saying now, I'm exposing myself and making myself vulnerable. But I'm an old
will
person.
everybody else in your circle approve of what you're gonna say? Because that's a very important thing.
It is an important thing. You know, my brother's on here, so I'll ask him.
Yeah, understand what? Remember I told you. Remember what I said to you? The circle. Always ask the other one in your circle before you make a decision. And you've made a decision.
Snipes. I'm apping you now. Yes, answer me. Yeah.
And if it's yes or no.
Yeah, and I will wait your answer because I will respect your answer.
You can't do it without her.
That's right.
Can't do it without
I can't do it without you. And I wouldn't anyway. Out of respect. I nearly did.
But that's why I was talking about the circle.
I nearly did. Yeah.
Why? Emotions. You just want to get it out. And you forgot about the circle. And that's what we do accidentally. And it causes the circle to have a friction. That's motion. Always think about the circle first. No matter how you feel, if you're going to say something that you're not sure how the others are going to take it, ask them first. Ask them first. And then they will pass it to the next one. And within 5 minutes, the chain knows and you know what to do. Yeah. Right. So remember what I said earlier, people about the circle. This is the good example.
True, because with me, I'm a person like this. For me, this is just me, because I know it brings release for me. You understand? It brings healing for me. I don't bottle things up. I talk about how I feel. I open up myself and I talk about, because in me talking about it, I can then also hear within myself also the answer, because sometimes we already know the answer.
Yeah, but you need to speak it.
But you need to speak it out there
so that you can answer it.
So you can answer it.
Yeah.
And sometimes even talking to other people, they can hear, because I will call my sister, sis, what do you think? Does this make sense? And she will listen to it. I said, you pick the sense out of my nonsense if it's nonsense to me. And she would say, well, no, this sounds right, you're talking right. Or no, that's not correct. Do you understand? So that's the reason why I open my mouth. I make myself vulnerable so that I can get the sense. You understand what I'm saying? I need that wisdom. Is wisdom for me. You understand what I'm saying? Wisdom is life for me. And that's the reason why I don't sit down and let everything just swirl around in my head. And you understand what I'm saying? Some
people do that, and it's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
You know, there's some people out there that's strong enough to just ride it through. And there's some people, as I said, the first stage is your guilt trip on all these kind of things. Coulda, shoulda. If I did phone him and I was meant to phone him and I didn't phone him, or her, or whatever. All these little things, it's deep, but Jah will pull you through. I said the Most High will pull you through.
Yeah, but that's how I got over my son's death. Talking, I went counselling, and I spoke about him, and I spoke about him, and I cried, and I spoke about him, and I cried, and I spoke about him, and I cried. That's how I got over. I couldn't sit down and have it, like I said, just going around in my head.
You need to find a way to get it out.
Yeah, and going crazy, because it would have drove me crazy. That's my baby. You know, understand? He was 19 months old. That's a baby. You know, you don't expect your baby to be dying. Never mind someone who is older. You understand what I'm saying? We don't expect it. But
I hear you, gone.
So I had to talk. I had to talk. And I've taught my children to talk. Don't bottle it in. And, all right, thank you. My brother said it's cool. If I need to talk.
All right. Right. Yeah. So, listeners.
Respect DJ Snipes. We talk later.
DJ Snipes, bless up. You know what I mean? When all is done and dusted, we're going to bring you in here and make you introduce the family inside here in the Blessed family. Right. Now, listeners who's been listening to the show, you've actually seen something that could have been a disaster. Because if we never thought about the circle, you could have upset the circle so bad that you would have lost somebody out of that circle without asking them. And that now the whole circle falls apart, and then the thief of the night comes in.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, it's true. so we laugh because it's
true.
It's true. It's true. It's just the way how the name came about. That's why we're laughing.
Yeah. So people, that's how the thief of the night comes in. Causes once an argument is between one and the thing break down, thief of the night walking and fills that space. And no, it's all right. I will help you, sticking on the side of everybody else, not the one like you who made the mistake.
Oh God, would have crucified me.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, sometimes these things go on.
Yeah, oh God.
Right.
Yeah.
So back the thief of the night. Remember the thief of the 9 nights. Right. So people.
After the night,
the cruff.
The thief them after the night.
Oh no, that's another thing again.
That's another thing.
Yeah, we did talk about the thief after the 9 night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the ones that come and clean up everything.
Loved.
You know what I mean? Anyway, back to the thing. Brother, I heard a little bit about your brother. Right, and I heard that he's a good brother. Well, I don't really want to describe. I don't want to say how he passed. That's up to you. Yeah. But as we talked about strength and how to get through it. First thing I'm going to ask you is how important is God in all of this?
Well, for me, he's the utmost. I cannot do anything without him. And when I say I cannot do anything, I don't mean I can't get up off my bed, I can't move, I can't talk, I can't walk. I don't mean that. For me, because he's the essence of my being, yeah, his breath is in my body. He's the first person, as I get up, as I open my eyes, I give thanks to and say, thank you for seeing another day. Yeah, thank you for the privilege, because it's a privilege for me to be alive, to see another day. I ask him to strengthen me, because he said his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So when I feel weak, his spirit makes me strong. He lifts me up with his peace, his love, his joy, his sound mind. I need that. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day. Because I live day by day. I need that every day. So if I didn't know he was there, I don't know what I'm telling you for a fact. If I didn't know, I could rely on him, lean on him.
So how do you know he was there?
How do I know? I feel him. Okay. I'm alive. His breath is in my body. If he wasn't there, I would be dead. I wouldn't be here. So that's me.
Just because you're alive, he's there.
He's there.
Don't you think some people might want more to believe more than that? When I say to believe, to know. Because when I say God, I mean the Almighty Creator.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. I mean?
The one who created all living things.
That's right. That's who I'm talking about.
So some people is thinking it's a religious thing. It's not a religious thing we're talking about. We're talking about a spiritual thing. You know what I mean? Your spiritual father, the Most High. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of people go through these things and they go through it alone, or they think that they're alone.
Yeah, they think they're alone.
Right? They're not alone. You understand what I'm saying? The Creator is always with you. You know what I mean? Every living thing is life, and you are life. What they say, God in flesh, or children of God in flesh. So if Yeshua says that ye are gods, if our ancestors say we are gods, then why do you not call on the God within yourself to help you in times of trouble? Why try and go in it alone? Why do you always think you're alone? You're not alone. You're never alone. Anybody who has love in their heart for anybody, you're not alone. Once you don't have no love in your heart and you're cold, you're alone.
But you are alone, because you're not gonna reach out to anybody to receive love, or you're not giving love. You know, they always say give to receive, and I believe that, because I'm a person, I walk in love. I love my fellow man. You understand what I'm saying? And I make it a point to show love, and I always get love back. You understand what I'm saying? So I know that when all the love that I give out, even in my hurt, even in my losses, I give out love, and I get love. I receive love in return, and I accept it. I don't shy away. Say no, because you know sometimes we can get really modest. I call it false modesty. You know, so you need it, but you're going to like so you don't need it. You understand what I'm saying? I embrace that love, and I take that love back, and I use that love to strengthen me. Once it strengthens me, I can strengthen others. You understand what I'm saying? So
love. Right. There's a reason why I said that. As I said, because none of us think we are alone. But you're not alone. As I said, the Almighty Creator is always with you. Always. You know what I mean? Just call on the Most High. I'm not trying to tell you to be religious. I'm telling you who you are. You're sons and daughters of the Most High, the Mighty, the Creator who created all of these things. Everything is linked. Everything. The birds, the trees, everything is linked. If you take the bees out of the equation, that means that now you got no honey. You got no honey. You got no pollen. You got no pollen. That means you got no flowers. You got no flowers. Eventually, you have no food, just by wiping out the bees.
That's right.
So how much more are you than these bees? You understand? Children of the Most High. So call on the Creator within you. Love is a power, like you said, the love thing.
The love, yeah.
That is very important. So your brother now. We was talking a little bit earlier on, and you were saying a little thing about the burial.
Yeah.
Right? And what the situation's like. Some of you will be going through this. This is why I brought it up. This is the most important part of this thing.
Yeah.
The burial. Right? So explain to the listeners what situation can happen and what you're going through.
When I say this, I'm not saying it because I feel no way shame, because I don't. This situation has caught us off guard. And the only reason why I'm saying it, and the reason why I asked my brother for permission to talk on this, I didn't really fully explain, but I hope you understand, Snipes, why I explained, because a lot of people are going to go into this as well, is that sudden death, even though we're talking about long-term illness and we sort of like digress, but it all corresponds, it will all go together. Because if we don't make plans for the person's death, burial, etc., this can catch you off guard. Now, my brother, he died suddenly. We weren't expecting him to die. Of course, we're not going to think, oh, Colin's going to die today, or this person's going to die today. We didn't know this was going to happen. It's a sudden thing out of the blue. Where's the money? Where's the money to bury him? There's no money. So we're not going to, for us, we're not going to be begging nobody. We're not going to start no GoFunds to be burying my brother. So we sat down and we, thinking, all right, then, boy, where we going to get the money from? Where we going to get the money from? There realistically is no money. I went to the funeral parlour.
Yeah.
And she said to me, for the cheapest burial was 3,300, and I think it was 3,304 and counting. That was only that was for the casket was 2,000 and odd.
Casket.
The casket, yeah. To bring his body down from where he is £165 to bring him down to here. Minister's fee, 200 and odd pounds.
What, for the pastor to
do the service?
How much? 200
and odd pounds.
All right, people, did you hear that? The church is charging people to say a prayer. Church is charging people for God's word. What they say is God's word. When somebody's lost a loved one, there is so much grief. You want to charge them? How much people did Christ charge?
None.
Hypocrites, some Pharisees, them.
Yes.
Yeah, so, sorry. I want to bond them for that, Trust me.
Listen to me. When I was sitting down in that funeral parlour and she told me minister's fee, when she said minister, I said, minister what? Minister's fee. Minister's fee. And
was that in a church?
No, I was in the
funeral parlour.
No, I was at the funeral parlour and she was giving me the breakdown of all the costs.
Oh, so they will get their person to preach or to do the thing.
More than likely, because I remember when my son died, I got my pastor to do the service. Can't remember if he charged me then. I don't remember because it was a while ago, so I don't remember. But I'm just saying she added minister's fee to it, and like I said, that 3,304 was just the beginning. This wasn't burial ground. This wasn't headstone. This wasn't the hearses. So this was going up into like £5,000, £6,000, £7,000. Yeah, the cost was rising. Now, there is no money. We don't know where we're going to get this money from. We don't know. And I haven't spoken to my brothers yet, but I feel we did. I spoke to him, but he sighed. I sighed. But like I said, this is coming from me. At first, I felt so bad. I felt so shame. I'm thinking to myself, look at that. You know, it made me think, you know what, Pearlz, you ain't even got no life insurance for yourself.
That makes sense. I will tell you in a minute.
Yeah, you haven't got no life insurance for yourself. So that got me thinking that, you know something, I best go and get my life insurance for that, because you know something, when I pass away, I don't want my children
to go through what you
to
have to
go through what I have to go through now. You understand what I'm saying? So me start make arrangement for my life insurance so that when it come time for me to get buried, things are easy for my children to do. You understand? So like I said, I started thinking, it got me thinking on a big, massive scale. When I say I was standing in my room, I was in my bedroom, and I'm spinning around and I'm looking at everything in my bedroom. I'm thinking, you know something, this don't even mean nothing to me no more. You understand? These material things don't even mean nothing to me again. I started to get deep. I just started looking at things. So what is all of this? This don't mean nothing to me. This is nothing to me. I have to make sure I get my life in order. You understand what I'm saying? So that my life my death does not become a burden to my children. So I started to think about life insurance. Anyway, going back with my brother now. So what's happened now, because there is no money to bury him, the bereavement service now is going to do the burial. And it's not even going to be a burial, it will be a cremation. Now, what's so horrible and distressing for me, this is why I've had such a rough week emotionally, is because when the bereavement service take over, you don't have a say in when they do the service. You don't have no say.
They just tell you a day and that's it.
They tell you a day and they give you a time.
And you have to turn up.
And you have to turn up if you can turn up, because sometimes they may do it early in the morning when they've got time, when the space is there to do it. So they can't, you can't pick your time. You can't pick your day. You can't do what you get your wreath sorted out and your flowers and your this and your that and all the rest of it sorted out. And that was nearly madding me this week, because I couldn't even function too good, because I'm thinking to myself, look at this now.
Virgin, but I'm looking at it like this. It's hard. It's not a good thing, but boy, to have it in your heart, we all want our loved ones to be buried, right? This is the thing that you got to look at, and then all of a sudden, they're doing something that you are totally opposite against, 100% against that, and you're powerless to do anything about it.
And we are powerless because we don't have the money.
Because you don't have the funding.
Yeah.
This is why we draw back to the Bible now. The Bible says, blessed is the one who leaves an inheritance to your children's children.
That's right.
Not your children, but your children's children. So what the Most High is saying is this: when you make a money, when you do your thing, make sure your grandchildren have something. Not your children. That's all right for them. They've already had their time. Yeah. But make sure your grandchildren get something so that they can support your great-grandchildren and do the same for their great-grandchildren. And then automatically you just have a flow of tradition that you have to carry on. That you make sure there's always a legacy of something there, that if somebody passes away, the person has left something that you can always leave it, invest it, or let it just stay there in case a member of the family needs support. That's right. Yeah. Sometimes you people lose a loved one and boom, everybody run after the money, insurance money, this, that, buy this, buy that, and you don't realize, yo, what about the burial? Yeah. Somebody else is dealing with it, but they're thinking about the money. Sometimes they give them some rubbish box burial.
Listen, I'm telling you.
And walk away with about 10, 20 grand and all these things,
Because like I said to you, the cheapest is 3,000 and odd. That's the cheapest.
Is that the whole with? Is that with
comes, the whole? No, that does not come with the burial ground. That wasn't even included.
Oh, and you're saying 3 grand, 3.5 grand just for them to do the coffin and. All that stuff,
minister fee, and to get the body. No, but you talk about flowers. Flowers don't involve.
No flowers, just the coffin. And get the body. So
and the minister fee, and this is what banned me again. You before you put in minister fee, you couldn't even tell me about flowers. You couldn't even tell me about hearse. You understand? You're telling me about minister's fee.
Because they want to make sure you got that amount of money first, innit? You take them stupid.
For the minister, you understand what I'm saying? So the minister make sure they make sure the minister getting money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bridget, that minister, listen, I saw one minister in one church the other day. I know said that man just done him about 3 pieces of beer can. Yeah, the man, and the man looked like he isn't even a minister. He just looked like he just didn't look like a minister. He didn't even sound like a minister. He never. I said this brother was just in the office doing something.
Yes.
Show the cloak on.
Yeah.
And say, man,
I done recite and done rehearse and done
he
memorize
does it all
everything.
the time.
You understand exactly.
Yeah,
So he
hustle,
know that. Yeah,
it's a
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's a hustle.
He know it.
They know it by heart.
Yeah,
It's a hustle.
with his eyes closed, they know it.
So-
you understand? So there's no this. This is what I'm saying. You can't.
It's a hustle, Bridget.
It's a hustle, and this is what I'm saying. My man is on his hustle. He's making his money. It's all a money making thing because, like I said, I sat down there and I watched the woman. But she quick to put that. When I said she couldn't write it quick enough, minister's fee.
That must be a brethren in the next room.
Must be, but I just said, you know what, hold it, because I was in there, and like I said, my heart was tearing, and I said, you know what, don't say nothing, just don't say nothing, because my mouth can be quick with certain things, and I said, just hold it.
Well,
You see, when I got home, I dashed down that funeral pack there on the table. I never touched it again, because I thought, you know something, I can't deal with that right now. You understand? But like I said, people, you know, and listeners, you have to think about death. You've got to think about, because you've got to. No, he's not buried as yet. Because that's what I'm saying. We're waiting for that time now. So this is now the hurtful thing, because we're waiting for them to give us that time and to give us that
So
day.
they're going to cremate him.
So they're going to cremate him.
All right. So people, look at this. Remember what I said. The dream that you have. All of us have a dream that somebody will bury somebody, and that dream can come from what you want was a dream to something in a box that you put on your mantelpiece. Yeah, and your conscience is going to tell you, is that really it?
Listen, I'm telling you.
What is in there is you understand? They give you the thing and they say that's the ashes. I'm going to go on it. They give you the thing and they say it's the ashes. But how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
And that's what. And again, it's all of that too. It's not easy.
No, but those are the things that play on
Yeah,
some of
plays,
us. Some people believe it outright.
Yeah.
And it's 100%. That's it.
Yeah.
I said, hold on a minute. Are you a scientist? You're going to go and get something and test the DNA to be sure? Until you have that equipment, I'm not saying it to say putting people down. Because people say, how could he say such a wicked thing? I've had that thing up there for years.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
but we
truth
don't.
is the truth, and we don't mean to offend.
No, we don't. But the thing about it is,
These are
you're
the
not the
things that
first
go
person that
through
would have said.
people's mind.
Yeah, it does. It goes through
It goes
people's
through your mind.
Yeah,
That's
of course
the
it does.
first thing you think when they put it in your hand. Like, oh, this is it. And you say that and you take it. Some people want it thrown in the sea, but boy.
No, I'm taking my brother Ghana. I'm going to bury him over there. That's where it's going.
Hard. And also people don't like this kind of conversation, but people think about life but don't think about death. And it's a part of life. Our ancient ancestors thought about death while they was alive. And they make sure they build their tombs and build their pyramids and build all of these things while they're alive. They're catering for what's going to happen when the
But the thing about it is when you really read, like I read my Bible, and you know, and you look at other traditions as well. They actually not like they celebrated death. It's almost like they made it a big thing. You understand? They made sure that like you said, they had their sepulchres, their tombs, and their pyramids, and all the rest of it, and it's all decorated. And so it was almost like they were looking forward to it. If it sounds strange, but they made sure everything was perfect, so that when they were laid to rest, they was laid to rest perfectly. There was no problems. There was that was it. It was done. We don't do that. We don't do that. We shy away from it, and I think that now, because so many people are dying just like that, we really need to pay attention to it. We really need to start being wise, being sensible about death. I still don't like even mentioning the word death, because it's just like, well, but you know what, we have to be sensible about it. And like I said, it's £7 a month, guys, for I saw it. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but I just saw the £7.
Have you registered on there?
Listen, not as yet. I'm going to.
When you register, then you tell them, because then the price gonna go up.
And I won't mention who it is, just in case they're listening, because I want to put up their price. But it's little as £7 a month. Yeah, for life insurance, £7 a month. And I think even some of your banks, if you've got a certain account, they've got life insurance on there as well, because I think my bank has life insurance. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start paying my money. You know, I'm going to pay my money.
You know? Because what's that, £7 or what?
A month.
So check it out like that, £7 a month. You blow that in a week.
In a week, in a day.
Nah, that's a
in
good
a day.
investment.
In a day.
You got to be thinking.
You know, so, you know, we've got to, you know, think about, I'm going to say it this way. For me, I do not want to be selfish. And when I'm sick and I've passed away, my children are left with the burden of burying me. Having to find those thousands of pounds to bury me. I am not going to leave my children with that burden. So I'm going to make sure Yahuwah give me strength, it gives me life, that I am going to make sure that I have that money there. Yeah, so that my children can bury. One thing my dad was very wise, and my mum. My dad put away his money for his burial. He made sure that money was put aside and that money was not touched. So when he died, my mum just went boom, bam, bam, done everything that she knew that my dad wanted, that they discussed together, and it was done. Right.
You see, because they know what the family goes through. Enough of us has been to funerals and this and that, you know, and we know what the family go through. Enough of them are in a situation like my sister here, who wanted to bury her brother in a casket, and now it's formed down to a little thing.
Yeah, a little urn.
A little urn.
And you still have to pay for the urn. You don't get that for free, you know.
You don't get that for free?
Nope, you do not get that urn for free. But I think, you know what, excuse me, I think because the bereavement service is doing it, you will get that for free. I think so, because they're doing it. If it was going by the funeral parlour, then yes, I'd have to pay for it. But because the like I said, the bereavement service is taking care of that, I think we get that urn for free. Whether I do not know what it's going to look like. I can't even pick and choose what my brother's put in. I just have to accept whatever they give me. So again, you know, the power is taken out of our hands because there is no money.
You have to accept.
Just have to accept. And again, I come back to that word accept, because I have accepted it.
Yeah.
As much as my heart is heavy, and I feel the way that I feel right now, I can let it go and not go on about, oh my God, and feel bad and feel shame and feel all kind of thing, because that's what wanted to happen to me. That's what was trying to, you understand what I'm saying, take me over, guilt and shame and all the rest. But I have to think realistically. I cannot feel guilt and I cannot feel shame because I didn't know he was going to die.
But none of us know.
This is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm talking about, the emotions. Because sometimes we feel all these emotions, but we feel them unnecessarily because we didn't know. Well, so we go into guilt and we go into shame unnecessarily.
No, but you know what? We know. I'm thinking about it.
But when we're talking about the long term, when we're talking about long term and short term, yes, we know. Sudden, you don't.
Sudden, you don't know.
Long term, short term, yes, you got enough time to
adjust
to the idea and get it sorted out. You may not still with short term, even long term, but then you have time. No, you will have time.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can afford it.
We watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
We see these things on the television all the time, but we don't clock that one day it may come to your door. Are you prepared? We will talk. If it was to come to your door or anywhere around your circle, are you all prepared? You're always thinking about, oh, when you go, you want to be buried like that. You don't even have insurance yet.
This is the thing.
So who's going to pay for it? Oh, well, my mum and dad will pay for it. Or this one. When the time comes, everything, emotions change up everything.
This is what I'm saying.
So don't think that this one's going to pay you. That's what you think because you're here. But once you're not here, you don't know what situation they're going to be in when that time comes.
Exactly.
So this is why you have some all-time people that know so well what is to come. So because you love your child so much or your whatever so much and you've seen these things, you know what will come and you don't want them to go through it.
That's right.
And when they go through it, you want to make it as smooth as possible because you love them. You know they're going to go through this thing. You know, say, boy, your daughter going to go through a storm or whatever. You know it's going to come one day. We all know. Your parent, granny, somebody, everybody has to go one day. That's the storm coming. then that means if you know this, prepare them for it. If you make certain amount of money, and the first thing you do, you start stacking for your storm. That's the first thing. Make sure you got this change put down for your storm. Once you got that put down, you know, nothing else matters.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't. And I go back to my dad. He knew he had his money sorted. So in a sense, he could live happy. He could live because he knows so.
That
When him dead, him burial started.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the elderly people, one of their threats, big threats, is who I go bury me?
Yes. That's one of the biggest
Who I
threats.
go bury me?
Who?
You understand? And they spend a whole lot of their life
Saving for their debt.
saving for their debt and worrying about who's going to bury them.
You said a good point there, you know, because when certain people reach a certain age, you know,
Yes.
see, that's what these youngers don't know. You might be young and jumping around now, you know, but you look at us and look at your parents and your grandparents, you're going to look like that one day. You're going to reach that age. And when you reach that age, you know one day you're going to go. Now, where will it be?
Yeah.
What would you like? Why, you don't care? Some people prefer the
What's that?
the
The cremation.
yeah. Some people prefer that because it's much more convenient and they can keep this jar
Yeah.
thing right there and there's a memory attached. But some people have bigger dreams and want the proper thing.
Yeah.
From the earth you came,
From the
From
earth,
the
they
earth
want to
you
go
return.
back. That's right. Yeah.
see,
They don't want to be burnt.
as I said, nothing is disconnected. You know what I mean? You go back to the earth. Boy, it's deep.
It is deep.
Yeah.
It is very, very deep.
So
You know, it is very, very deep. And like I said, you know, we're waiting to hear the day and the time and etc. And to tell you the honest to God truth, I just said, you know what? If it's early in the morning, Eastbourne is 2 hours away. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Wow.
early in the morning. You know, they're telling me it's this time, and we're gonna make it there in time. I'm telling you,
sad, man. It's
it's a hard situation. You know, I'm trying to explain it here, but my head is busting. Trust me, my head is just like.
Right. Well, let's take a stop. Let's take a stop then, breathe, because we can go on and we can go. Let's take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
I need Shirley right now with the cheek cool.
I'll
right
tell you
there.
what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a deep breath with a tune, yeah.
Yeah, we're
because some people, I think the texting crew said that we should expose the teeth in the 9 night.
They
Then
want to expose the teeth.
yeah, we should expose
Oh
the
yeah,
teeth
man,
in
we
the
can go
9
back to
night.
that. We play a
Yeah.
tune. How much money? Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
we're cool,
Yeah,
we're cool.
we're cool.
Right,
Yeah.
so we can expose the teeth in the 9
we
night.
can go back to that.
Right, so right then, let me see who's gonna expose the teeth. Are you gonna expose them? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Nah, not yet. Some people remember
Play.
stack some money. If you have a
which one you
dream
got?
of how you wanna go,
Press lovers found I don't mind. Yeah, lovers found
you sure you don't wanna play like
No man, lovers found I. 'Cause lovers found me. Yes, I live love. You know, I walk in love.
you know what? I did like the humble tune.
You wanna
know.
go? You wanna play that back
I
again?
like it.
I'll go on again. Go on again.
Alright
I gotta
then.
play him again.
All right, what type? Rush Dragon.
See him up there. Humble.
Nah, that's what you asked for.
No man, you could have gone.
I have to go with the flow. With the beat, you know what I mean?
We're gonna bring some love into this now because we need love.
Yeah. Although we're gonna bring the thing back up to a level again. Yeah,
Go
so I'll
on
let you
again.
know.
Started from the beginning.
What did you say?
Lovers
I
found
thought you said
I.
go on, select. I started from the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah. Go on again, man.
Me?
Wheel and come again.
This is not my show. I'm a guest here, you know. All right.
This is Janine, Lovers Found I, and yes, Lovers Found I because I am love and I walk in love,
That's why you're playing the tune.
and that's why I'm playing the tune because love has found me,
And love is the power.
and love is the power,
So
and love is
when
the
love
key.
find you,
Yes,
you have the power.
that's right.
I take a risk, I let him in. I am afraid, I admit to him. This type of surrender was an under agenda, but I find that this brother is inspiring. Him don't have no money, him still kinda young. A lover and a fighter, but I just send him come. This type of surrender was an under agenda, but I find that this brother is a reflection of us found I. Finally, for a heart him bring the healing. Him learn from the example of the king. Love has found I. Finally, trust a man full of lust. I don't fish for compliments, I'm real serious. But love from the lion brings access to Zion, and the queen him rely on fulfills her purpose. I journey as Omega is to keep Alpha strong. I complement his nature and define his function.
Yeah. Go on, call out what's going on and say what you're saying.
Yeah, greeting. This 9-9 thief them and I for expose them because it's not right. Imagine you lose your family member and somebody and you don't have no money to bury them, okay?
Yes,
and you try to make your best and a man come in and take for this money, especially family member, for calling in.
So you want him exposed?
That is right, because he will stop it and feel embarrassed.
And I hear what you're saying, but you know what? I'm coming from a place of love, you know, Ras Dragon.
Yeah, but you know, okay, if he may have love, why would he steal the 9-9 money?
Listen, you see the thing about you know what for me, yeah, what I've learned, love conquers all. Yeah, when I say love conquers all, I'm not gonna retaliate fire with fire. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay in that higher position. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in my right, because if I take my right and give to that person's wrong, that's it, I've lost. So when me standing in my love and me standing in my right has actually conquered that person, has actually exposed that person. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't have to.
No,
but you don't expose it because I don't know him.
Yeah, you don't know him, but then you know what, Ras Dragon, is not for you to know him, and it's not for anybody else to know him. The family know who this person is, and within that family, we know who that person is. I'm not gonna go and take his name and take it and fling it out all about.
No, but it's not even about the name. You see, if he had any respect, he wouldn't do that in the first place. So you have to burn him.
And which is the truth, and which is very much the truth. If he didn't have respect, but you know what? I have respect for myself, and because I have respect for myself, and I love myself, and I will conduct myself in an appropriate manner. I'm not going to take his name and trash his name all over the place. He know who he is. We know who he is, and the way in which we dealt with him and how we dealt with him, he feels shame. He feels shame.
Because I hear what you say. He might feel shame within the family, but what about the public or the whole one knows they were listening?
But him now. But the thing about it is, I know for a fact that he won't try that with nobody else. He won't try it with nobody else. You understand? Because, like I said, the situation and how it was dealt with was dealt with neatly. You understand?
So
he
what you're
won't
saying,
do
we
it
have
again.
two options. You can do it in a loving way, or you can do it in a way that you expose them.
This is what I'm saying. If you feel, Ras Dragon, that for you it's the best thing is to expose the person, make everybody know, then if that's the situation for you, then you deal with it. But because of how our situation was, we had to deal with it in that kind of manner. And when we dealt with it in that kind of manner, the person felt the shame. The person felt the guilt.
All right. Supposing now, not in your situation, Remember, not everybody's doing it the way you're doing it now. So Ras Dragon is not looking at it from your point of view.
Yeah, I understand.
Right. So this is why you're cushioning what he's saying. He's not talking about your point of view, but in general. Now, what if
it's gone deeper than that?
Yes. What if the thief in the 9-9 is the eldest one? That means say none of you underneath them. I'm the old, I'm the oldest one. Story. Now, supposing the thief in the 9-9 is the eldest brother. Now, what you gonna do?
But we had that.
And that's the one who's in control of everything.
He's not in control. We weren't in control. Wanted control.
Nah. Well, then.
But it's not hard to not be, because remember, you just lost a family member, close family member, and if he's a family member, he shouldn't be going on that road. You understand? It's like a girl I know.
He shouldn't be.
But he
Someone
shouldn't be.
told me about they went to a 9-9, and while the person downstairs, this person actually got upstairs and pretended to be sick, and went in the trunk and take out their money and gone.
Yeah, but why is this all about money?
Yeah, but the thing about it is, people feel when they have money, it's going to give them some kind of access to something or power to something.
No, that's weak.
No,
but the thing about it is, what they don't seem to realize, when you thief that money there, you've cursed yourself. You curse that money, because that money ain't going to last long. You may think that, I got this money, but I guarantee that person, when they lay down, they can't sleep at night time because of the way they've received that money. They've got that money.
Some people sleep good.
Right. But
some sleep good.
Right. Yeah, but you see one probably going to help that person another 5 years on their life.
Maybe.
And then
Exactly.
oh,
Maybe.
that's a point there, you know.
But the thing about it is what I'm trying to say is, and I'm talking only for myself. I can only talk for myself. I can't talk for anybody
I
else.
could hear you, girlfriend. I could hear your pain, and I could feel where you're coming from. But at the same time, you gotta expose that out there. You can't keep suffering with it.
No,
Because
like I said,
We
like,
have to make sure we show this. This is the thing with us. You know, as black people, sometimes we can't keep so much things up. We need to expose people like that. Seriously.
yeah, but
Wait,
like I said
expose them.
again, I will go back to there's ways of doing things.
But
There's
yeah,
ways.
don't you think exposing them can make it worse? Because now they got a reason to just.
That's
be-
what
be
you
bitter.
have to. You have
They will
to.
think, first and foremost, they'll think twice of doing it again. And number one, if anyone comes to them and say, you know, Virgin, I tried that and that wasn't that nice idea. I bring them my family. So, yeah, allow that and move on. Find something to do better than that.
But this is what I'm saying. You have to. I never ever move. I try never ever to move rationally. I don't get emotional. I don't.
Fire with fire, but
Yeah.
sometimes you have to lie.
There's some things, like I said, you have to know how to pick your battles and how to fight them. You understand?
Right,
That's
right.
one thing I've always learned. That's one thing my dad has always taught me. Yeah, my dad was a very wise person. He always taught me you don't think through your emotions. Your emotions will call you to kill somebody.
That's the same thing. What
understand?
happens when somebody. That's the same circle. Your emotion can make you do some things.
Some things,
that
yeah.
you would regret.
Right.
You would regret.
So this is what I'm trying to say to this person now who's in their high emotions because they're grieving or whatever. And it wasn't just grieving. They had other issues. You understand what I'm saying? And when they saw an opportunity to get this
particular item or
item,
thing,
whatever,
they took it.
Listen to me. I saw a different personality come out. Yeah, I saw
Well,
a
you know-
different thing. Hang on a second, let me just explain. So it's almost like I saw a mental imbalance take place. And I had to say, all right then, am I going to fight this mental imbalance with my madness, with my
The
vexation and
mental
my
imbalance
anger?
too in the person.
In the person.
Right, so remember going back what we said in the beginning. So I look at it like we all won anyway. We might have our little differences, but you see when that time come, I look at it like, yo, if you open up yourself and make some dirty spirit coming out of your body and make you turn wicked and start doing some bad things, then that means you stay out of the circle because it's spiritual. If we're spiritual and we start getting a bad mood, what is a bad mood? What is it? You wasn't like that before the person passed.
Right, exactly.
You understand?
Yeah, exactly. But then, like I said, in this particular situation, and I can only cater for this and talk about this. If I had chosen
Yeah.
to wield my machete at the time, because we was in Jamaica.
Oh, he was in Jamaica.
Yeah, we was in Jamaica.
Oh, that's all right. You can do that.
Yeah. If I chose to wield my machete at the time, bust a man head and rah and galang bad and wild and carry on with myself. Listen, I'm telling you for a fact, the anger and the grief and everything that I was going
You
through,
would have regretted it in the
I
end.
would have ended him.
Yeah, but right, I hear what you're saying, girl, but at the same time,
You would have chopped up the man.
Would I chop him up?
You see that, people? We've got some loving people in here, you know.
But I'm just being real. I'm being real. I'm being honest. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, because of, like I said, I all the things my dad has taught me, and because, like I said, I try to practice as much as possible self-control. I try to live a life of wisdom and not be in my emotions. I try to, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I decided and I chose instantly when I saw the change to say, you know what, this person's not thinking in their right mind now. Yeah, so let me in my own right mind, you understand what I'm saying? Because I had to be in my own right mind, deal with him calmly and wisely and with self-control, because I knew if I went, if I had chosen to deal with the fire, it would have given him more justification to carry on bad. You understand what I'm saying? So his fire, my fire, we are going to burn up.
Right. So how is this person today? How is you on this person today?
Me and this person don't talk.
Okay, right. So it's going to be a never-ending story. So
No, it's not. No, it's not a never-ending story, because you know the reason why? I made him know why I no longer spoke or will speak to
has he
him.
ever apologized for his misdemeanor?
There is no apology, and I'm not waiting for one, but I can guarantee you there is going to be one because of the way in which I dealt with him. Yeah, I dealt with him so nicely and so neatly that he could see where he was going wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And how he went wrong.
You make him see himself.
I made him see himself. I broke it down to him. Now, whether he chooses to apologize now, next week, whatever, whenever he chooses, I'm not waiting for one. You understand what I'm saying? That's not my goal. I'm not waiting for one. But I know there's an acknowledgement within him. And whenever ego and pride settle itself down, you understand what I'm saying? Because I know this person, I know how they are. When it's, I know there will be an apology. I'm not waiting for one, like I said. But because I dealt with him with love, with wisdom, with self-control, I know he couldn't say, because she done and how the way she carry on and
so no matter how long that person continued to be angry, you still kept up this.
I keep calm.
This oneness.
I keep calm. Even to this day, I will send, I love you.
Yeah, kill the man with love.
Kill them with love.
Oh.
That's what I do. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. That's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Love conquers all. Love conquers all.
Right, but then, you know, he's having a story where I had a good friend of mine who passed away a few years ago. And the person was amongst him. And just as they got to the ambulance, this person decided to take his son to the bank and go to the bank and try to get money out. No, this good.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen as well.
And when they blocked the card, you know, this person turned up, we looked at him and he just had to document and walk away.
See, I understand the move there. I've seen man that do that, you know, and they, you know what I mean, you tell them to do a little thing. You know what as well? One thing we miss out is sometimes when people are in that situation, you get a next to king that just come from nowhere. You know what I mean? I come from some different country and say, me is your cousin so and so. I mean, I even know her, you know. But she can call names on families and this and that. I say, you know what? If you don't know your family before the person died, when the person moves on, whoever you know at that time, that's it, brethren.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Where you come from.
And top, bro. Anyway,
guys, move on. Keep the discussion going and name the person, man. 919.
Ras Dragon, if you want to name the person, you name your person. But I will not name this person because you know why? Like I said, I have left the door open. I have not done that. I have not washed the person's name out there or wipe the floor with them because I've left the door open for reconciliation.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, you do get your blessing.
Thank you.
Bless up. Right, so people, love works.
It
for
does.
real. It's hard.
It's hard, but
it does work.
Yeah,
it does work. You know, that's one of the solutions that you can use to get yourself through. You know what I mean? With them teeth in the 9 night, you have to just humble and come together as a unit. Yeah. So that you can't break your circle.
But see, people feel thinking that love is a weakness. Love is not a weakness. You have to be strong to be able to love. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be strong. And when I say strong, I don't mean say, you know, we use the word strong like, you know, physical strong and whatever. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. When I say strong, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to, what's the word? Even to be hurt. Because sometimes, you know, people hurt you, but I always, like, again, say, put myself in those people's positions, think, well, what's going on with them? I'm not saying I allow them to do it. No, I'm not going to allow you to do it, but I'm going to understand why you did it. And once I've understood why you do it, I will give you that grace to say, okay, you know, maybe we can, you know, come to a reconciliation, or, you know what, you're just somebody that you can't be in my life. But I'm not going to allow it to cause me to become bitter and twisted and hateful and raw. I'm not. I like to be happy. I like to laugh and smile. That's how I walk. That's my power. You understand what I'm saying? So,
well, like, what goes around comes around.
Yeah, you understand? So I will walk in love. Always.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But watch out for the emotions, though, people. Yeah. You have to watch out for that. You know what I mean? Watch out for that. All tight D. So, if we
going back.
Going back to
Are we going back to the funeral? We're done?
Done. I'm cool, man. We're done with the funeral.
We're done with the funeral. So with the teeth in the 9 night, yeah? So we finished with the teeth in the 9 night?
We're done with the teeth in the 9 night. With you have the teeth after the 9 night, right? But we're gonna. What else? What was it?
It was about long-term illness and coping with it. We never, but we didn't because we have to get together in order to be able to look after the loved one. We have to support each other because it's that, again, You understand what I'm saying? So we in a sense we did, because we have to take the pressure. So one person will look after the person this hour or that hour or whatever the case may be. But like I said, it's considering each other's feelings while looking after this loved one who is ill.
It's hard sometimes.
Because each and every single one of us is going to have our own feelings and thoughts about this person. We
But
all have
eventually, the end is the end. Yeah. Now, one thing that God is good for me, teach me enough things, There's a film called The Time Machine.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Take this on board. My little sister, take this on board. There's a man that lost his wife, and he built a time machine to go back in time to save her when she was crossing the road.
Okay, I think I saw
she got run over by a horse and cart. Right? Every time he goes there to save her, it still happens. He gets there early, something else happens, and it still happens. He saves her one day, and then as he curves her on this side, something else happens, and she goes again. That film taught me, and I'm sharing it with you, that sometimes when God said it's time to come home, you might not like the way he called you, or you might not like the way he called the loved one, but you cannot stop it.
Right. Let me stick up in there. Can I
when I
just
say you cannot stop it, I'm not talking about if they're sick. But once it's done, there's nothing you could have done to change that. Even if you had a time machine. So when you look at the scenario of the time machine, if I could have saved him. But as the time machine says, if you could, something else would have happened. And if you did fix that, something else would have happened.
Let me give you a quick story, and it's about with my son, my baby. Yeah. When I had my baby, I will never forget it. I had him, and it was he was born on DJ Snout's birthday as well. So that was like, be even more special. Yeah. So when I had him, I got up and I was looking at him. He was in the little crib thing and all the rest of it, and I just saw this shining light around him. He was just a little bundle, and she was just shining. I just saw this light around him. And I heard within myself, you're not going to have him for long. And I'm like, you what? And I heard again, you're not going to have him for long.
I knew this.
And like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual person. And I buried that to the back of my mind. Yeah? I buried it to the back of my mind. And one particular day, I was walking across the road, and I heard again, I was pushing him in the buggy this time. He's about a year now. And I heard the voice again say, you're not going to have him for long. When he's around about near 2, that's when he's going to go. And I heard it plain and straight. I heard the voice again. And I thought, I said, I heard it again. And I thought, nah, I've heard it twice now. So something's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I put it to the back of my mind. Yeah? And then he caught chicken pox from his brothers. It was like a double dose of chicken pox. He had it everywhere. In his mouth, all over, he had it. And it kind of weakened him a bit. Got over that. And then 2 now, he started to get sick. Didn't know what it was. Took him to the doctors. The doctor said, get him to the hospital quick. And I took him to the hospital. They did all kinds of tests, didn't know what was wrong, etc. and etc. In the end, anyway, like I said, he passed away. And he passed away from meningococcal, which is a meningitis, septicemia. That's when it poisons the blood. But I remember saying there and then in the hospital, I said, you know what, Father? No matter what happens, I'm still going to give you the praise, because you told me that I wasn't going to have him for long. And his life, he was so special. So many people loved him. And because of him, so many people's lives changed. I don't know how to explain, but so many people came up to me and said to me, Sharon, what happened? You understand? And to you, you're like an inspiration, because they couldn't believe how I took it. They couldn't believe. And I had to say to them, it's not me, it's the Almighty, it's not me. You understand what I'm saying? Because it was his strength. His strength made perfect in my weakness.
You know, there's no way.
There was no way. You understand?
Yeah.
I could have done that on my own. So he got the glory and he got the praise. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, through my son, done so my life changed. The strength that I became such a strong person. Again, I'm not talking about physically strong. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, strong. So you know, again, like I said, this is the reason why I will always constantly walk in love and try to be understanding and open and etc. and etc. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know the mercies of the Almighty on my life. You understand what I'm saying? Through going through the deaths of my son and etc. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole load of things mixed into it, but
you will get through it.
You will get through it. You know, you'll get through it.
I always have a saying, yeah. Out of every bad thing, there is a good thing. If you look for it, don't look for it straight away. But in time, as the time will pass, that's my philosophy. Me, the things I think different. So what I do, I just look at it like that. There must come out of it at some day, at some point.
Yeah.
Either I might change, I might meet somebody along the road that might change my life because of something. You know what I mean? So for example, if that situation with your child never happened, you wouldn't be sitting here today.
No.
You might have been a little bit with your brother, but the child, the double one of them put together, that's just made it right.
Yeah,
I gotta say something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, in you saying this something, you got no idea how many lives could be benefited from what you're saying.
And that's the reason why I wanted to speak about it.
For losing one life and saving 50, because it's gonna go. You can go on YouTube. You go on Bless Radio 1 on YouTube. You can download the show. And everybody can listen and you understand. So it's going viral. Yeah. Right. So because of that testimony, we may say, not we, but the Creator may be able to pull other people to the truth of themselves, to let them know that God is within you, the Creator, the Almighty is within you, and He's always there for you. I'm not turning it in a Christian thing, but Job. You see what happened to Job? Right. Job lost everything.
That's right. He did
everything. But yet, you know what? He said, you know, I know there's an Almighty God and I'm not going to give up. Wife gone, children gone, house gone, land gone, everything gone. The only thing he had around him was the teeth in the 99.
Yeah, the two teeth.
I lead him into temptation and I kill off and picnic. Yeah. That's the only it was. Him and the teeth in the 99. Nothing else. Everything gone.
The two friends them were telling me curse God and dead.
Yeah, them and wife telling for curse God. You know what I mean? So when you look at that situation, that scenario, and we look at ourselves, and we could say, you know what, Job went through a whole heap, you know, and I'm going through this. And if he can go through all of that and come out victorious, he lost everybody.
That's right, he did.
You know, with us, sometimes it happens one at a time or two at a time, normally. But when I one lose everybody, yeah, and still all onto the Creator, what was his reward in the end?
Oh God, he got it back tenfold. He got more. He got more picnic, he might have more land, he might have more sheep and everything. He had more than he had before.
So what's the difference of what you're going through and what Job went through? Apart from the number of the thing that you lost, the situation is still the same. You've lost something that means the world to you. And that something is everything. Like Job, lost everything. But he never give up on the Almighty. You got a great blessing coming.
Yeah, exactly. Because
you got a great blessing
that's
coming.
That's right. And because I never gave up on the Almighty. And if I had given up, I'd given up my life. And if I'd given up my life, I would have given up seeing my grandchild. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that's a blessing. She's a blessing to me. I love that baby. I love her to bits. You understand what I'm saying? I could have destroyed then my family, my children. You understand what I'm saying? I could have been the most disgusting mother after. You understand what I'm saying?
When you sit down and look at the damage, what can be caused if you break down or if you fall below the waterline or if you fall in, what damage can be done? What's the consequences? You know how much, some of you don't realize how much a pillar you are in your family, a rock. Yeah. You understand? So when the time come and that rock is removed, the foundation starts to shake.
Start shake, yeah.
You need everybody else to come together to hold the foundation so it don't fall. And then when it stops shaking, you just put back, you know, you're firm, you strengthen
you
it.
strengthen it. That's right, yeah.
You know, so people, life and death is in the power of the tongue, them say. You know what I mean? And who feels it knows it. You know, my sister feel it. She went through it a couple times. Job feel it. Enough of you out there being through it.
More than once, yeah.
And knows at the end of the day, you're strong in your faith. You're strong in what you believe in when you go through it. You know what I mean? But some people, they don't let go. When I say don't let go, I don't mean you have to let go. But you have to lift yourself up. You can only do something for so long. You know, you only can cry for so long. You only can carry the pain for so long. But when you relax and just get out of it, it will come naturally along the way of life, gently. You know what I mean? Some people sit on and I was like, you said you boiled for weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
4 weeks straight.
Max, and that's all I did want to cry for.
Did you drink plenty of water?
I can't remember if I eat.
So where would the water come from then?
Listen to me. I can't remember if I ate. Never mind drink. Yeah? No, that's a good question. But I don't know. Maybe I absorb it from the atmosphere.
When people passing up, the amount of barley. And you don't drink no water.
No, I must have absorbed it. No.
You don't drink nothing. Because you're in a... But yet... you're nah, virgin. You know what I mean? That's what the Bible says. Out of your mouth shall flow rivers of living water, so it can come onto your eyes as well. Lord. You know, I like to use the Bible as a reference to all the time.
But it's good because it's truth. It's for me, it's the truth. Some people say it's not the truth because that's a whole. We're not even going to go there. But for me, it's the truth because I understand it to be my book, is my history book. So I understand it to be that. So I will hang on to that and stand strong on that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to.
Right? Because let me just fling this in there. Before
you're gonna fling it in there.
Me, I got fling it in there.
You're gonna
all right, me, I got put it in there.
She's going to place it.
Excuse me with language, yeah, because sometimes
she's going to place it in there. Sometimes
the pat will get with me. Sorry. Let me come back down to English. I'm going to put it in there.
I'm going to place it.
I'm going to place it.
What are you going to place in
I'm
there?
going to place. What was I going to place it in?
No. I see your movie. I can't see what you're placing. You don't have nothing in your hand.
All right, I'm going to place this in there.
What?
This little bit of information, yeah, before any European person came to translate that Bible.
Yes.
Those scrolls, those scripts.
Yes.
It was our Hugh brothers, yeah? Who, by inspiration of the Spirit, translated first. And as time went on and different hands came to it, Greek and, you get what I'm saying, came into it, the translations changed, but the original translations that came from our Hugh brothers. And then, like I said, as time went down and they found the scrolls and the scripts and etc., and translations got mistranslated, different words put here and different meanings put there, etc. But that Bible is our history book. Yeah, it is our
Some
history
don't
book.
believe that.
Some don't believe that, but I'm just saying that's me. Yeah, so I'm hanging on to that book. Carla. Greetings, caller. Can I know your name? Who's calling?
Greetings.
Greetings.
This is Brother Dougie speaking.
Hi, Brother Dougie.
How you been?
I'm
good?
fine, thank you, yes.
All right. No, I've just been listening to the reasoning, and my sister, you're very wise
Thank you.
sister, right? And I'm enjoying the reasoning in terms of controlling one's emotions. You know?
Yeah.
One of the things what really damaging, I would say use the word damaging, hindering to us is our emotions. We let our emotions take full control of us.
Exactly.
You know? And the way you was able to articulate in terms of controlling your emotions, I was very impressed.
Thank you.
You know, also, Russ Dragon who phoned in, I'm in agreement because it's not about who's right and wrong. It's about getting the full result out of particular time. You know.
What you mean? You agree with him exposing the teeth in the 9-night?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Just say that, man. Just say that. Try to sugarcoat the thing, man. And the teeth in the night, man.
So you see, I just listen. I just falling on the. I just hear the reasoning. I couldn't pick up what was happening. But we were talking about 9-night and the teeth and this and that. I said, well, but I just like the way the sister was able to articulate it and talk about the emotion side of stuff and talk about your inner self, your inner truth. You know, because once you know what is right and you do the inner truth, things will expose itself. You know?
Exactly.
And I was very impressed in what you were saying, my sister.
Thank you.
Very impressed.
Thank
you. Know what I mean? You know. So I just want to say that I'm listening and I'm listening and taking some notes. Emotions.
Yeah.
No, it's not about taking emotions.
Yeah.
I like the
Thank
the
you.
reason between you and the Rasta pastor as well.
Yeah, we could have taken
powerful show.
It's cool. It's the Most I ordained this, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, for real. I'm
Yeah.
telling you the truth, yeah. This show was planned for a reason, yeah. We started this show about 3 weeks. Which one?
Yeah,
It's the third one.
This is the third one.
Is this
now.
the last one?
Yeah, this is the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Trinity.
That's
Oh,
right.
it's going to go to the last 3 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, we've done it. This is the third show of this particular series. Yeah, we're doing sections of shows. So we're doing 3 series about passing on and death.
Yeah.
And then we do 3 series of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all of it is going to be deep and intense, and the things that you are holding in, that is hurting you and making you sick, and also can be destroying your family, making you lose weight, make your maga like a twig, and you don't want to eat and sit down and smoke ganja all day. You know what I mean? We need to get this thing out of you. You understand?
That's right. We've got to get you living.
Yeah.
We want you to be living. We don't want you to be a living dead. We don't want you to be alive but dead within inside. We want you to be able to, be strong within your emotions. That we're talking about our emotions. If we let our emotions override us and control us, we're going to be living dead. We're going to be living in anger
And that's what Babylon
and bitterness
wants.
and etc. And when you live like that, you know, they call it your lower vibration. If you live in that lower state, you will not be able to function properly. You will not be able to make the right decisions. You will not have proper relationships, good relationships, healthy relationships with yourself or with anybody else. You will not be able to manage life, you know, productively.
Well, you see, but you see the things that, I mean, people understand the importance of emotions, because when you have individuals who go into school and just shoot up people, you know what I mean? It just shows you the emotion side of stuff. And when people go out and you see kill and stab at people and just lose it, you know, a lot of it comes down to emotion, not in full control of our emotions, you know. That's why things like anchoring yourself, breathing, you know, just meditation, you know what I mean? All these things that are practical exercise to be full control of our emotions. Because the biggest force in life, you know, is pain and pleasure.
Yeah.
Most people run from pain to pleasure. That's why you understand why people take crack cocaine, they start drink, they start rave, they start woman. They're in a lot of pain. It's just really a mask. Cover up the pain they're in.
Of course, exactly.
So when you talk about the whole thing about the emotion side of stuff, you know, I was listening. I said, "Well, because I just turned the radio and I said, what is people talking about?" You know what I mean? I just listen, and you had me hooked, man. You had me hooked.
I'm going to ask you a question in a minute, but let's go back to the emotion, because one thing I want to get this out there as well. A lot of us are just living basically in our base emotions. You know, like animals. All animals care about is their food, a little shelter, and when it's time to mate, breed, and the
PlayStation. Don't forget the PlayStation.
And a lot of humans actually live like that. As long as they get a little bit of food, they've got a roof over their head, and they can mate, they're happy.
Yes.
They don't live out of that. You understand what I'm saying? They
think that's life.
They think that's life.
Yeah, that's what they think life is.
And our emotions. We've got to learn. We've got to understand that we are not just the body. You understand? We are a spirit. Our spirit is more powerful than just the house that is in.
Yes.
And if we can learn the power of the spirit and of ourselves, you understand what I'm saying? We can govern our emotions. You understand what I'm saying? They talk about the fruits of the spirit, which is peace, love, joy, sound mind, meekness, humbleness, self-control, all of those things. We can master those things. But we have to be in acknowledgement of these things. And we've got to daily choose to walk in them, practice them, walk in them.
I one I could jump in, would you say that we need to raise our level of our vibration in terms of the chakras? Because one thing I could understand, just reading certain people who've done a lot of work on themselves and chakras, that we operate from a beast level, of the chakras. And as a question of really raising our vibration, our chakras to the crown chakra. And that's the work we should be doing in ourselves, you know?
Right.
I just want to...
Yeah. Brother Dougie, like I said, I don't really know. I can understand about the chakras, but I know this is going to be a topic that everybody's going to have a different view on. But I always go from my Bible and what the Word of God says to me. So with the chakras, I do understand them. I do understand what they talk about, but I don't actually go by them. But before I forget, I want to ask you a question now. Are you prepared for a passing of a loved one? Are you financially prepared? Are you mentally, emotionally prepared? Are you
prepared?
Are you prepared?
If I'm to be honest, I would say no. I would say no. Mentally, I would definitely say no.
Yeah.
You know, financially, you know, give myself 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But mentally, no, I would say no. And that's something you got to work.
That's something that we all. That's a part of us that we don't try to strengthen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just ignore it. Like it's when it come. Brethren, there's a truck, Juggernaut, coming down the road at some point in your life. You know it's coming. You know, but you don't business. You're not paying no mind because it's like all the way in Scotland. It ain't gonna get here for now. You know what I mean?
You know why it's man, you know. Don't worry, man. I like that one day, you know.
So you think say it's in Scotland, it's gonna come, but all of a sudden they put it on a ferry and it gets quicker. You know what I'm saying?
A hovercraft.
Yeah, they put it on a ferry, brethren. They put it on one of them Dover things and it reaches here within a couple of days. Brethren, you're not ready. None of us are ready, but we know it's coming. Yeah,
it's coming, yeah.
You know it's coming, so we should also prepare ourselves mentally, and spiritually, because the both of them is balanced. And the spiritual side is where you go to the Most High, or wherever you go, whether you go to your ancestors or whichever path. You have to prepare yourself for it spiritually, because you are spiritually connected to the ones that's past. So when they go, they take a hole out of you. Because that part of you, the part of them, what you got in you, you know when they're gone because that part's missing too. So like when a woman loses a child, she feels that empty space in her.
Oh God, yeah, big time.
But you know, son, that is a very good question, you know, you ask me. I like the reasoning still. I like the reasoning because it's something we have to meditate upon and prepare yourself mentally, you know.
All right, she got some insurance going for £7.
You got life insurance out there for £7. So go check out. Get your life insurance sorted out, please. Yeah, tomorrow, guys, go look back your life insurance. £7, and if you got a bank,
don't tell them too much.
I won't tell them who.
No, but come back to the serious side.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when my father joined the ancestors a few years ago, right? I wasn't prepared. And the reality is that I thought that my dad would live forever. I really think that he would live forever.
Yeah.
You know, but when it happened, he kind of took me out, licked me out, basically speaking.
Yeah.
Licked me out speaking, you know what I mean? So that's a very good question, you know? Very good question. Okay, well, listen, I'm just listening to the show, you know, and I really enjoy the reasoning, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, my sister. One love to you.
You too,
Think of yourself, the boss, man, yeah?
Bless up, brother Dougie.
Yeah, man, love again,
right.
man.
So that's the Find Your Voice family, people. Brother Dougie, and we're all part of the same family. You understand? So the Find Your Voice and Bless and Nessala and all those who are dealing Galaxy, all of them who are dealing with consciousness and moving forward for our people, we are all family. Whether you like it or not, you know what I mean? We spiritually, we're all looking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Yes.
Right. Is he still there?
No, Brother Dougie's gone.
Okay, Dougie, listen. Use Andrex when you're barling, yeah, because the rolls are thicker. All right.
Yeah.
When I say that, I don't mean it in a horrible way, you know. But you know, I'm a brethren, so we can run, Joe. You have to have a sense of humor on this show, you know.
Yeah,
Serious thing,
got
because
to lighten it a bit
you can't be all down, or you got to be
heavy.
It can be, and it can bring up some emotions that you buried, you know, or you think you've forgotten about it. But we're all doing it out of love, because those who've gotten over it understand that there's a lot of people out there that it's coming to.
That's right.
And you don't want them to go through what you've been through. And if they go through, at least you would like everybody to understand what you have to go through, because it's not nice. Why are we being selfish by not sharing how it feels to us when we go through this thing? We even need our children to know, by listening to these kind of conversations, to say, listen, one day mommy and daddy might not be here. Are you prepared? Don't you have to tell them now? They you know, it's something that life is a circle, but we try to protect them so much. I don't want to tell them that, 'cause I don't want to hurt them feeling. But when it happens, it's like the juggernaut that come down from Scotland. So I show my youth them, but they're not youths now, they're big men and women, about life. You know what I mean? I show them from when they're old enough to understand. That's when I show them. You know what I mean? When if they talk to me, I say, oh, that's where you're going, okay, you want to go to Egypt and thing and talk to me about Akhenaten, and then, okay, we could talk about life then. And I'm around, and now I can talk to them. Now I know, so they're ready to listen. So that's what it is. But I like the tune you played, though.
You like the tune? Which one?
Exactly what I mean.
Okay.
The one that we put on and don't get to play yet.
Lovers Found.
That's what you call a show. Right. So, how you doing?
I'm doing messing about.
You see?
Lovers Found out,
Yes. So, no matter how it goes, sister, I know when you go home and you go to your bed tonight, you're going to have a sweet dream. You've accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
You've accomplished a lot, and you come a long way. So,
a very long way.
A very, very long way.
And this is why I had to share.
Yeah.
The pearls of wisdom.
And that's
that
what
I've learned. That's right, Pearls of Wisdom. That's why the show is called Pearls of Wisdom.
Yes.
Because, you know, wisdom is likened onto pearls.
Yes. Because
it's a gem. It's rare. It's very rare. If you don't seek wisdom, because you have to seek wisdom, you know.
You have to.
Yeah. You have to seek wisdom, because you can, you know, again, I will always refer to my Bible. There's Proverbs. Proverbs tells you what a fool is, and a fool is somebody that does not like instructions. They don't like wisdom. They want to live willy-nilly and do what they want.
Preach this.
But you know what? I love wisdom.
Yes.
Because I'm not a fool. I'm very wise.
Very wise.
And because I'm wise, I can give people pearls of wisdom.
She can give people pearls of wisdom.
Hallelujah.
Give me some pearls.
Hey.
All right.
Yes,
cool.
my brother.
So your hand here. Right. So people, see how it got, although you're going through the thing, you still have to balance everything. And the one thing the Most High give us is love. Yeah. And when you go through this thing, that's a nice, good balance. You know. Anyway, we can't stop talking.
Go on again, because love has found out. Right. Yes, we're walking in love.
And this tune is called
Love Has Found I by Janai.
And why are you playing it?
Because I am love, and we must walk in love. And love will find you. When love finds you, it will strengthen you. Yeah, okay. And be able to make you walk strong.
Yes.
Tan toddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like the tune that I picked, don't you?
Yeah, I like the tune you picked.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Give thanks for him, Emperor Haile Selassie the First, and Empress Menin. Perfect balance. I take a risk, I let him in. I am afraid, I admit to him. This type of surrender was an under agenda, but I find that this brother is inspiring. Him don't have no money, him still kinda young. A lover and a fighter, but I just send him come. This type of surrender was an under agenda, but I find that this brother is a reflection. Love has found I finally. For a heart him bring the healing. Him learn from the example of the king. Love has found I finally. Taking it slow, but not letting go. I'm not one to trust, a man full of lust. I don't fish for compliments, I'm real serious. But love from the lion brings access to Zion, and the queen him rely on fulfills her purpose. I journey as Omega is to keep Alpha strong. I complement his nature and define his function. So love from the lion brings access to Zion. Masculine and feminine united as one. Love has found I.
Big shout goes out to Silent One.
For a heart him bring the healing. He learned from the example of the king. Love has found I. Finally, taking it slow, but not letting go. Feel like Empress Menen when she just sight the king for the first time. She was a little older, but he was the holder of the key to her heart. All the struggles and the lessons and the heartache. How much can one woman's heart take? Till highly step in, like something from a dream. The conquering lion turned that girl into a queen. Love has found I. Finally, for a heart and bring the healing. He learned from the example of the king. Love has found I. Finally, taking it slow, but not letting go. I take a risk, I let him in. I am not afraid, I trust in the king. Haile Selassie seal the Trinity with Empress Menen, and show man don't forget the power through the reuniting. Duality is evidence, we both are the same. One in the principle, just two separate names. Reminder of the balance that we have to maintain, and the peace it is possible to gain. Now that love has found I. Finally, for a heart him bring the healing. Him learn from the example of the king. Love has found I. Finally, taking it slow, but not letting go.
One Ragga D. Big up Demas shop in South Tottenham, N15 6JU. Blessings to you.
Love has found I. Finally, taking it slow, but not letting go.
Yeah. Big shout. You got to push up. I'm not the push up. Right. Big shout goes out to Silent One saying, greetings, my deepest condolences to you and your family. Thank you for keeping it real.
Thank
right.
you.
Talking about the issue, you have given me something to think about.
Oh wow, that's brilliant.
Well, all tight, Marie. Yeah, most I bless you. Microphone was in the way. Right, where are we now?
Thank you.
Where are we?
Where are we now?
Yeah.
Well, we're at the end
It's
of the
in
show.
my brain dehydrated.
See, I'm here.
Okay,
Come
you
and
want
talk out myself.
You want some water? You have the coconut
Me have
thing
the
sitting
coconut
right
water
there.
right,
But
yes,
that's the
sir.
thing, man.
Lord God, hang on, people. Sorry.
Nice. Yeah, you see, I should say, people, we're in
You
here
hear that?
thirsty.
Lord God, thirsty
and
like
she
the
have
arid
this
landscape.
wonderful thing of coconut water, you know. And my brain a shrink. I had to take off my hat because I couldn't focus. Blood night. All through the show, I'm like, why my brain
Got restricted by the time of the day. Yes.
And I'm thirsty, and I realized, sorry.
So where for your water?
I never had time to get it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No, I got water, but the show was so interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying.
Right.
Deep reasonings. You
go
know.
on. So where are you now?
Where are we now? Right.
We're all right, you know.
We got time?
We can stay all day.
Listen to me. I can stay all day. I can chat, you know.
I know.
We
But
can
not
chat, you
right
know.
now.
All right, but we're not going to chat now. Listen, right. My listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to do a proper research on all the different insurance policies and life covers and etc. for you. And when I come back again, Yehovah Spray Live.
forward.
Next week, I will bring thee the information so that you have this information so you can choose which life insurance, which life cover you want to partake of. You know, you want to give your money to. It's very important that we now start thinking about life insurance. I myself am doing that research to make sure that I am not a burden to anybody.
And
When it comes time to
what our
bury me.
parents work for. They don't want to be a burden. So when somebody, when they say, oh, man, I don't want to be a burden to you, they're not saying that they don't check for you.
That's right.
They're saying that they don't want to put a burden on you for you to deal with what comes when they go. You know what I mean? So they prepare the way to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they're even honest to use that word burden because it can be a burden. It really and honestly can be a burden when you don't have the finance or the support. You understand? It can be. You understand what I'm saying? So please, you know, I want to leave with you again. It is very important. As much as you don't want to think about death, please do think about it, but think about it in a positive way so that when you leave this earth, you do not leave anybody in any debt or anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? That you leave, you know, nicely.
If you can. Because some people don't have it.
Yeah. And again, you know, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But if you can, start, you know, planning ahead.
Yeah, that's if you just could love for them. That's how it is if you can.
Yeah.
So remember, we're going to find some things for you.
Yeah.
Where you can actually
get the information for
get
you.
the cheap ones, them as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
We're getting forward to you with the information.
Yeah.
That's what I can say, man, because that coconut water
and
look
love
good.
each other.
Coconut water look good, you know?
Him look good, innit?
You know.
You never taste him yet.
You see, I'm going to let them dry.
Hey, don't make me laugh, please.
Okay.
Love
Right.
one another, please. Love one another.
Yeah, for real. You have to. You don't have no choice because all you
Yes,
got is
love
one another.
another.
Right. So what the show's about today is...
Was it death?
Yeah, we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So
It was
I had
about
something
it.
to say towards the end, you know, but I can't remember what I was going to say. Let's see what John is going to say.
What's Janine gonna say? What's she talking about? Oh, the greatest threat to the status quo.
No,
We don't want to be no threat right now.
There's no threat right here, right? There's definitely no threat right here. All right. Okay.
Dabba. Yeah, Dabba. There she is, up there, right there, yeah. Yeah.
That one.
African roots.
All right, cool. All right.
Yeah, we'll go back to the African roots.
For real. Right, we're going to take our community worship. You see my brain dry. Say, come in with your drink, you know. It's all right. Keep me drink. I'm going to play
Hey, take the drink, man.
Nah.
Drink this year one, I take the other one.
I'm going to start calling you Sahara, you know.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Arid landscape.
You know. Dry up, make people brain shrink. All right, it's all right. It's all right. Next week, don't worry about it. Next week, I'll have a big whole one with 2 straws and thing. You know what I mean?
The proper thing.
The proper
from
thing.
the tree. Yeah.
Yes, I'll bring a tree in here, Bridget. You know what I mean? Okay.
Okay.
Original style, original vibes. African mind, African rhymes. Villager, Daba Makureja from Senegal coming to sing about my African roots. Listen to the sound, feel the rhythm beating in your soul. Shake up the ground, don't resist, answer to that call. And the sounds of the drums are carrying the voice of the people. Through the space and the time, we carry this tradition, travel and bass combined to bring a new iration. What a strong meditation. What a nice medication. African roots, we hit the drum and feel the African roots. It makes us proud and strong. African roots, we know where we belong. African roots, my African roots. African roots, we hit the drum and feel the African roots. It makes us proud and strong. African roots, we know where we belong. African
bust up the tune. I'll get my own coconut water. It tastes so sweet. I had to stop. Why?
Mr. Babylon could never get us wrong. Mr. Wicked Man could never steal us. When you make us, you may lie. Try to deny, you can blur our feelings and change our side. Cheating, lying, falsifying. Try to keep us down and starving. Still we standing firm, resisting. Proud and heads are kings and queens. African roots. With the drum and feel that African roots. It makes us proud and strong. African roots. We know where we belong. African roots. My African roots. African roots. With the drum and feel that African roots. It makes us proud and strong. African roots. We know where we belong. African roots.
Yes, I. Big shout goes out to Demas Shop, South Tottenham. Yeah, bless up all the crew in there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. What? I'm not saying nothing, then I'm not my coconut water now. You know,
Well, you don't drink my coconut water. My tin done. It empty.
No, that's why I just people listen to this. You see, and I think done, you know. You see now, if you did it, you see, hold on, look at take a sip.
No, all that talking, it takes you out of you know. It's emotions. You're talking about this is emotions here.
Emotion. I got that emotion. Yeah, it is emotion. You drink finish, good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Why you looking sympathy? No sympathy around there. You know what I mean? All right,
people.
I'm drinking. Talk.
Well, I just want to say thank you once again for tuning in to blessradio.org. It was a pleasure to interact with Brother Dougie and Ras Dragon. Thank you so much for your input. I appreciate it. And, you know, that's what I love. Let's interact. Let's communicate. Let's talk with each other. Let's reason
share
together.
The love.
Yeah, and share the love.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. And as I said, Dougie, easy upon the toilet roll, yeah? Come and know, say when we really think about what we got coming.
Yeah.
It's deep, but you know what? The Almighty is there for us, you know what I mean? Prepare us a table before us. You know what I mean? But sometimes we just tend to ignore the signs on the road of life.
Yeah.
We just ignore it. It's gonna come, but we just ignore it. There's no point ignoring it, you know. If you're strong enough to deal with it, and then deal with it.
Yeah.
£7 a month. We don't work for the insurance company, you know, just in case you think we are trying to sell insurance.
No, we're not selling no insurance right
there.
No,
it's not that, right?
We're just letting you know how cheap it can be.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, you see when we go out, we buy chicken and chips, so how much time we buy chicken and chips and we buy this a drink and buy that the drink and crisp and this foolishness and that foolishness.
The same
that
food
money,
that's going to kill you.
Yeah, on the same food that's going to kill you. You can take that £7 that you spent and put it aside a month. It's for a month, so that's what we got 4 weeks. That's what, and see, you can still £1 a week. You still can, you understand? You can still put aside how much money and afford the £7.
You're looking about roughly maximum £80 a year. Yeah, when you really boil down to £80 a year. So if you want, you could just pay that off in 2 goes, and then you don't have to relax. Yeah. Do your direct
so
debit.
I will do I will investigate. I will find out the information how you can pay for if you want to pay for it. But they're normally like that payment plan, isn't it? £7 a month.
Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna find a nice one.
So we're gonna find one. Yeah,
nice
package and
and let you know,
we'll
so
come
that
back
you
and
can
let
rest.
you know.
We can't afford for you to go through the burden. But those who can't do it, you know what I mean, the Father have a way. You know what I mean? So don't worry yourself if you can't do it. It's just for those who can, they should. Those who can't, the Most High understands. Don't worry about it. It's not everybody supposed to do what everybody's supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's just some are meant to go that way, some are meant to go another way. But if you can,
once the realization has hit you, it's come, and you can do.
Right. So I'm gonna cook up on a joyful night now.
Yes, we are going to leave on a joyful note.
Did you bring the banana?
What banana?
Did you get the bananas?
No. Yeah, they are. They.
Alright.
Them.
Man, gonna make me pina colada.
Okay.
Right.
But you know what we're going on now.
Right. What we're gonna go on now? I think that's about it. I can't think of nothing else right now. My brain is just starting to grow.
It's that I've done. I'm emptied. I've let it all. I've given it all to the people.
My brain is starting to grow back now.
Okay, so the blood is circulating.
Yes,
now.
the coconut water what you kindly gave me 2 hours ago. It's getting up in there. You know what I mean?
Okay, it's reaching up in the parts where Heineken can't reach now.
Coconut water. Okay, I had something to tell them, but I can't remember Ika, But it's alright. Right. Play another music until we think what we've got to do.
Yeah.
Should we go for a break?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a real break, yeah. Because we got some man things we need to talk about around here. Innit? So you know about the man things.
Yeah, you can go with that one. Here I come with love and not hatred.
What we're talking about now?
The tune.
Oh, the tune. Right, here we go.
Love and hate can never be friends. Oh no, oh no. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand. Leave up roots children. Oh yeah. Leave up pasta children. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this back for Silent One. Bless up.
My cup runneth over. Yeah. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, a number to get you through 079 444 31366. You're listening to Bless Radio, and myself, me, and Lady Dreams. Whose dreams? Whose dreams?
Dreams.
Whose dreams?
Lady Pearlz.
I must be sleeping.
It must be.
Goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand. Leave up roots children. Oh yeah. Leave up pasta children. Yeah. My head is anointed and my cup runneth over. Yeah. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Yeah. Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah. All right. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand. Live up good children. Oh yeah. Live up good children. Oh yeah. Forgive up, forgive up. Yeah, oh boy, whoa. mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Yeah. Oh yeah, nah. Oh yeah. All right. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand. Liverpool children, oh yeah, Liverpool children. Yeah. My head is anointed and my cup runneth over. Yeah. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of our life.
Okay, that was Mr. D. Brown. Here I come. Right, so, family, I hope you've learned something today. You know, I mean, it's been a journey. It's been a very, very, very serious journey. As I said, we don't think about these things. And as I said, we don't mean to frighten anybody. But, you know, it's something that comes around at some point in our lives.
Yeah, that's right.
You went to read, I thought he was going to read something wonderful.
Say that again?
I thought he was going to read something.
Oh, something wonderful. No, I was just you know,
Just
looking at something. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think we've done enough. You think we've done enough?
Yeah, I think we have. I think we've covered. I hope we've covered, but I feel within myself that we have covered
Quite a bit.
quite a bit. As much as people need to know.
Yeah,
The most important things that people need to know.
And it's not to be afraid.
Yeah.
This is the thing. If you can't do anything, like for example, if you can't deal with the insurance, or I haven't got none of this, what am I going to do? Don't panic and don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Because your creator is already in control of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that sounds strange, but it's true. Yeah.
But
look at Christ then, the example. Never have nothing, but yet his tomb get free.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There's so much information in the Bible of people who never had nothing. And look at David, shepherd boy, returned king.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So we don't have to worry. When I say you don't have to worry, yeah, don't worry, man. Within reason, I would say common sense. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
but we do, because we're human, so we are going to
worry
worry a bit. But you know, again, just remember, you are not living to yourself. There is the Almighty. You know, there is. You know, He is there, and He does watch over us. He does look after us. I know, but there's a lot of people ask why, but that's a different topic for a different day. But you know, He's there. And one thing, you know, what I will say about this when it comes to the life insurance and affording the life insurance. I know
you work for them undercover, you know.
I don't, and I'm not selling life insurance. I want to empower my people.
Okay.
Even if you put £1 away
every week,
yeah, £1, 50p in your wallet, in your purse, the little change, little shekels that you have there,
in a bottle or plastic
and
tin
put
or
them
something.
in a plastic thing, a bottle. Buy a specific little. You see them Coca-Cola bottles that you buy, and you put they've got a little slit, and then you put them in.
Oh, you mean the ones that you can't lift up by yourself?
That's right.
Or
That one there.
Oh,
yeah, that
when
one.
it's full, you can't lift it up.
Right. That's same one. When you fold that up,
you can't lift it.
You can't lift it. That same one. Buy something that you can put your little shekels in. Discipline yourself. Discipline yourself and start saving. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And what you'll find also, if you can discipline yourself to save that, you can discipline yourself to save for other things too.
For real.
Discipline.
And that's what our parents has done. And sometimes we think that they're mean and they're this and they're that, but we don't understand. It's not. See, when you have a person in your family and they got money in the bank and so forth, and they think, say, look at she's got all this money. When she dies, you're gonna inherit the money. And you say, listen, that money isn't about that, you know.
No.
It's all about making sure I put something there so that my children and my children's children don't have a hard time dealing with me or you after you're gone. You understand? That's what it's about, you know. So it's still about you. That money that you can't wait till they're dead, that money is about you. It's always been about you. But sometimes people can't wait till mama dead or papa dead before they can get the money.
That's right. They're
waiting. It's not about that. That money that they got in the bank was, even if they don't want to give it to you, because it's already yours. Who else is there for them to give it to? Think about it. Who else? No one else. Don't kill them off to get the money, because then that means a judgment. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Not going to enjoy the money.
Put nothing in their food or anything to try and get the money quicker because John are asleep.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean? But it's for you, to make it easier for you. You know what I mean? And as I said, for those who ain't in that position, it's a bright now man don't have nothing to do, nothing with that. Just accept how it is, yeah. Father is in control. God is in control. When I say in control, I mean just look to your higher self, to the God, the Creator, the Almighty. That's what we say, the Almighty. Whichever shape or form, your ancestors, whichever way you see it. Yeshua, Jesus, any way, whatever you.
I know him as Yahuwah Elohim.
Yeah,
that's how I know him.
Whatever your faith belief is, yeah, you can believe in yourself too. But when the pain comes, make sure you're strong enough to deal with it. And if you're not, find someone that you can lean on, because you're gonna want to talk. You know what I mean? And that's all there is to it.
That's right.
Right. So people, I think our brain is really, really done enough today. Right. And thank you, Sister Pearl.
Thank you, my brother,
for that wonderful conversation. And I hope you out there have seen your eyes are open to know, you know what? Life is serious for real. And you young ones listening, you must know, so when you're out there doing what you're doing, and if you get yourself in a box, know what your burden you're putting on your parents. That money is not for them to bury you. It's for you to bury them when their time come. Now they got to take the money that they saved to send themselves off to deal with you, because you decide to walk on a different path in life. You know what I mean? So when you're gone, remember what you're going to leave behind to your parents, your family, your brother, your sister. Know what you're going to put them through when you're gone. You think they're not going to miss you? You think they're not going to cry? You think they're not going to feel pain? You think they're not going to feel hurt? Why? Because some of us take the wrong path in life and not looking at the consequences that will happen when they're gone, or when that path in life takes them away. What's going to happen to the rest of them?
That's right.
What's going to happen to them? So sometimes life is a serious thing, so that you can think about the path that you're on. If you're going to hurt somebody, when you accidentally get your life taken, or whatever the case may be. So young ones, think about the parents when you're walking on the path of life. Of, you know, I don't know, say enough of you don't want to hurt nobody, but sometimes the way the world is now, it's a bit it's a bit tough out there. So I know some of them and them are scared, so they have to defend themselves. They have to walk with their things. I'm keeping it real. My son and them have to walk with their things, because everybody else has got their things. Yeah, not everybody else. Those who do walk on that path. There's some young ones that don't walk on that path, but the ones that do walk on that path, just think about what you're going to leave behind, the devastation that you may leave behind if you lose your life, and your parents or your mother or your sister or your baby mother is there with all the things of getting you buried, this, that, right. Think about it. Are you prepared to let them go through this? Can they afford to go through this? And what's going to happen to them mentally and spiritually? The family will fall apart. Why? Because some of us choose the wrong path in life and not looking at the consequences. Man will say, boy, man don't care if man go jail, man don't care if man gets stabbed bare time. Alright, that's you. But what happens when something does happen? What are your family going to go through? how's it going to affect them? That's all I'm saying. So we need to know what path we're choosing in life, because that path can drag in everybody else. It can tear down the whole castle. You know what I mean? Mother might be old, boom, you do that now, mum gets an heart attack, boom, she gets an heart attack, the other sisters left on the alone, the other brothers left on their own because there's no mum, they ain't got no money to bury them, boom, next one comes in the night, the thief, the night, come take everything else, and then, all because then your mum or dad end up going in one of these plastic 15-pound coffin, and then thrown in a furnace. Why? Because you chose to take the bad path in life or the wrong path in life, not realizing the consequences you're going to leave behind if you lose your life. Because we love you. We're not saying this to frighten you. We're saying this because we love you. We love all the young ones out there. We might have made the wrong decision and wasn't able to give them everything like school and everything, but we wanted to give you schools. We wanted us to have our own colleges. We wanted to have our own hospital. We still do. You know what I mean? And we will.
And we will.
We will.
Because we're not talking about it's
we
in
will.
progress. Yeah, we will.
Everything
we are going to.
We're going to have our own.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
We will.
You know what I mean? Because Babylon don't want us to have our own school.
But we will.
But we
regardless. And we have.
And we want our own hospital.
Have it in little increments, but we want it in a
bigger. We want a big building, like 10 floors or something like that, right. And wards and everything. And when you get sick in there, you're gonna get some ITAL food. What ITAL Vital? They will provide the food for you, and all that. And Ras Alkaline will provide the alkaline and thing.
That alkaline.
You know
listen to me. That the tonic there, Ras Alkaline's tonic. Why? That is good tonic. It's good tonic, and we need that tonic there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you want some more?
Yeah, I need some more. I actually do need some more. So Ras Alkaline, please, can I have some tonic?
You sound like Oliver. Can I have some more?
Can I have some more, please?
More?
More?
All right. So young ones, that's how it is. Careful what you leave behind, the devastation that you leave behind on the fast lane. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair. You know what I mean? For an elder to put their young ones to rest. It wasn't meant to be like that. You come to put the elders to rest.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you are basically the next generation.
Yeah, the next generation. The next of kin.
Yeah.
Next. Otherwise, you're next to take over, not next to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
next to keep on the lineage.
Keep it
pass on the legacy.
So we're talking about it. That's what we're talking about, man. So watch out, people. You know, live your life you love and love the life you live. And my sister, she lives the life she loves, and she loves the life she lives, regardless of what the trouble may be.
That's right.
Just like Job. Just hold on to the Most High.
That's right.
You know.
Walk in love, live in love.
Live in love, sleep in love, wake in love.
Everything in love.
For you are love, you know. Because without love, you are not nothing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You're not anything.
That's right.
All right. So, anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
You never said nothing, you know. I said it all, you know.
It's pretty easy.
I know.
But there's no. There's nothing more to say. I've cleared my chest, as they say.
Yes, it's a whole heap of clearing.
Enough clearing.
The Ras Dragon, a whole heap of clearing.
Ras Dragon, we will talk one-on-one, yeah? We will talk about this subject, yeah? About the thief and the nine net and the exposed, and we will talk one-on-one with you.
Okay. So what are we doing next week?
Next week?
On a happy note.
On a happy note. Do we want a happy note next week? Shall we break it up a bit and do a happy note next week?
I don't know. It has to be seriously happy.
Seriously happy?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about depression, because there's a lot of depression going on. A lot of people depressed right now. A whole heap, from the youngest child to the oldest. And again, I do not think we address this situation as often as we should.
Okay. Right. This is what we're doing. It seems like we're doing a healing process here.
Yes.
Of when you lose a loved one. So the first one we done is all the 9 teeth, you know, the 9 and all that. That is stage 1. Now we're on to stage 2, which is depression. All of this is based on people who lose a loved one. This whole show is based on the people who lose a loved one
Yes.
and what they got to go through. No one don't talk about it. No one don't want to talk about it because it's a sensitive conversation. I might say some things what you might not agree with, but it's all right. Just take what you need and what you don't need, just leave it.
That's
Nobody
right.
burn me or run me down.
That's
it's
right.
just how it is. But it needs to be said.
That's right, it does. It needs to be said. We keep shying away from these things and talking about we're not going to wash our linen in our dirty linen in public. Well, your linen is dirty. That's why it needs washing.
In public. Not
Yeah.
in public.
Not necessarily in public, because people think, you know, there's counsellors you can talk to. There must be some trusted people that you can sit down with and express yourself to, and etc. and etc. You understand what I'm saying? I've done counselling. When I say done counselling, I've trained. I've trained as that. You understand what I'm saying? I've got to go on to certain other degrees of it, but I've trained as a counsellor. So I'm always on tap. I'm always counselling people anyway. You understand what I'm saying? I counsel people daily. I'm always counselling people, but my type of counsel, I counsel people differently from certain. I don't sit down in a box room and, well, pen and paper. You know, I do a specific type of counselling. Yeah.
So people,
I do a specific type of counselling.
you see,
So
imagine now, this lady is a counsellor, but yet, no matter how much counselling you're counselling, who's gonna counsel the counsellor?
I counsel myself, you know. You see the same question? Listen to me, people, yeah? Listen to me. I can counsel people, you know, but trust me, I can counsel myself, yeah? I can
Okay.
counsel myself because you know what? I am always real, yeah?
Okay.
So I can ask myself them hard questions and I can sit down and think about it and I can answer myself. That's why I'm saying today
Okay,
as well,
right.
yeah.
Right, I've enjoyed the show, right? So next week we're going to talk about some other things. Same kind of vibes on what people go through after they lose a loved one, but we're not going to talk about the 9-night thing. No, the teeth of the 9-night will be in every episode.
Yeah, man.
Because it's in.
Yeah.
It's always there.
It's going
somewhere.
to come along the journey with us because you know what? Like Rash Dragon said, all right then, Rash Dragon, I give this to you. The teeth in the night can get exposed along the way.
Yes. And at the end, we will tell you who he or she is. Yeah, call out it name. Yeah, when we get to the end of the teeth of the 9-night. Nah, it's for real, man. I've seen children lose everything. House, land, business, everything taken away from them because another elder of the family think they were too young or whatever, or you don't understand, so they take these things and sell everything. And when they do all of that, you grow up now and get wiser and realize, hold on a minute, where's my inheritance that my people left for me? It's gone. Because
Yeah.
the teeth and the 9-night. No, that was not the 9-night. Actually, that was after the 9-night.
It was after the
teeth
9-night.
after the 9-night.
After the 9-night.
Take everything.
Yeah, after the 9-night.
You know what I mean? So now you end up in a council flat.
If that.
Yeah, if that. No inheritance from your mother or father. Teeth and then teeth after the 9-night.
After
Take
the
it.
9-night.
And now you're in a flat. All right. So people, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope
once
you enjoyed
again.
the journey. You can get the show later on Bless. I don't know when you're going to get it. I have to ask Mr. Leon. When are you going to get the show? Okay, all right. Before Sunday.
Yeah.
All right,
before
which will be
Sunday.
tomorrow. Bless Radio #1, which is the number one, the one finger thing. Bless Radio 1 on YouTube. You get it there. You can download it, and I hope it makes you feel okay. So
Yeah.
you can send out the last tune.
Right, so the last tune we're going to listen to.
Don't tell them the name. Yeah, you can tell them the name.
Yeah, man, because I'm for know the name, innit? Which one you go? That one?
Which one you want? This one?
Yeah,
this
things
one.
will
Yeah,
make your
yeah,
body
yeah,
feel
yeah,
good
yeah.
because we want to feel good now. So
Okay.
things will make your body feel good. Janine, once again, come in, sister.
Okay. Right, so see you next week.
Next
Jah
week.
willing.
Yes.
All right.
Blessings.
Hey, that don't sound good.
Yeah, man, it good, man, because you just stretch
No,
ourselves.
just stretch,
Just stretch ourselves, man. Hi, don't me laugh. Whee!
And then
Don't me laugh.
they bite the coconut tin. When I hear it, make I go back to that
Just
beginning.
stretch ourselves, man. She said things will make our body feel good because she does yoga and so she stretch. So when she has stretch, no, it just release the tension. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear.
All right.
I hear. Hey, Dragon, listen.
Go on again. Things will make your body feel good, Janine.
Hey,
Yo.
Hey, Jaguar. Hey, I never. And that shit to make up. What?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it make you feel good. Listen to me. Anybody that has a stretch and an exhale and tell me say you don't feel good and go answer.
Listen, can't you stretch without making noise?
No, you can't. You cannot. You have to make the noise. It's just like boxers. When boxers are boxing, they make up whole heap of noise. How much noise the boxer they make up? So she's stretching. So she's feeling good because she's stretching. If you go on, play the thing now, you'll get past it.
Boy, hey, Raggedy, if you ever hear a woman say this, run. We better run.
Don't run, Ragga. No, say you're in for something good, so don't run.
Something good?
Yes.
If you hear that.
Things will make your body feel good.
All right, so Raggedy, if you hear a woman say something like this, you're in for something good.
Things will make your body feel good.
Blessed, you out of here till next week. All right, out of here.
Body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like them. Things will make your body feel good. Oh, things will make your body feel good. One little things will make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like them. Love it when the muscles start burn. Love it when the body start learn how to bend. Like to feel the pelvis oscillate and kundalini activate, and I'm transported to a higher state.
You hear that, Raggedy?
Yoga mat.
Some activation that go on, you know.
Vehicle or anywhere I'm at.
You hear that? She's hot, Raggedy.
Hydration and surrender to the high vibration of the things that make your body feel good.
Yes, I.
Oh, them the thing we like though. Things will make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. Things will make your body feel good. Oh, things will make your body feel good. Only the things that make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. As a herbalist living with the land, trust me, there is a cure for every illness known to man, but it takes courage and knowledge and patience to create the optimal state. Starts with what is on your plate. That will teach your brain what you endow in and make it fill your vessel up with endorphins. So when you get to working and need the strength, the raw and the natural will help you reach the length for those things will make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. Things will make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. Things that make your body feel good. Oh, things that make your body feel good. Only the things that make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. Let me show you how to stretch your strings. Let me help your heart open. Sensations and emotions free. When the veil is broken, I let this natural reflect in my life, the flex that I find bends even my mind. Oh, these things that make my body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. Things that make your body feel good. Oh, them the thing we like though. Things that make your body feel good. Oh, things that make your body feel good. Only the things that make your body feel good. Oh, them the things we like though.
smoking in my room. Yeah. I Stephen Marley, Bless FM radio, play good tune.